Previously in the GodBreaking, a group of adventurers had inquired and discovered of Kildrak, their former party member and companion, and now fledgling god of dwarven crafting. They inquired of him the location of Robin. Robin, the rune bearer, the one who had within his body, the ability to pass through dimensions, barriers, and who knows what else. Kildrak pointed you towards a location, a small village, not very far from where you encountered and defeated Praktinic. So you guys made your way to that village and found the village completely beset by a plague, a disease, an illness of some kind that had ravaged the population of the village. Through further investigation, you found out that many of the surrounding villages and even the keep, the central point of power of the fiefdom, the kinghold that you were in, had been affected by this plague. You guys in that village found Robin in a very, very broken and crippled state. His body contracted, his mind delirious, and his skin just completely withered and dry. Whoa, who was that?
Sorry, was that way too loud?
Okay, wait here. Let me turn you back down to normal volume. That's good.
Sorry about that. Yeah, put a new motherboard in. Got switching my shit around, so I'm gonna adjust everything.
Okay. You were able to heal him, purging the disease from his body, and you did so for some other villagers, and you basically went about investigating the cause of this disease. Your adventures took you throughout that town to the keep of the now, and as you found out, deceased King John. And through your investigation, you found out that the town had been attacked, the keep had been attacked by Krigajard sometime in the past. A deep earthquake underground had destroyed the keep. But as a result of that, he had also killed some kind of mysterious beast deep in the Underdark, and had split open through force of his earthquake a big crater, a big chasm that breached the surface in the Underdark. So small flies had found the corpse and had, upon feeding on it, had mutated, and as they rose to the surface, as they came to the surface and started afflicting the people in the area, brought with them a disease that was mysterious and unprecedented. So you guys went down to the Underdark, destroyed the corpse in fire, and came back to the town. And after a lot of effort, started all these towns on the process of healing their diseases. In doing so, you won, and also through encouraging him to work up the muster to speak to his lady love, you gained Robin's favor. He offered to you the ability to call on him whenever you have need of him, and his gratitude. So that's kind of where we left off. You guys are still in the keep of Nota, the mostly demolished but somewhat now healing and thriving city. Robin has gone off to talk with Marion, the sheriff of this town, to offer his ideas of bringing some more equality to the people of the land, and also unite them in supporting her authority, or at least bringing the country back into healing. That's kind of where we left off. What do you guys want to do now?
You guys sure we still shouldn't purify these villages with fire?
Good. I think we're good, mate.
Okay, if you say so. So what's next?
How long has it been since Biffin said he was going off to wherever he was going?
It's on the order of 10 days, maybe 12 days.
How about we not go somewhere where we'll encounter another female that wants to kill Deimos?
I mean, that's pretty much everywhere at this point, but
Well, I'd never heard about you in Hell, so obviously you haven't pissed off every female there, so we could go there.
That's how you win in Dungeons and Dragons. You piss off every female and they have them try to kill you.
Yeah. You can take this from us. We're really good with the ladies.
It's winning the game.
Mm-hmm.
It's a legit strat.
It really is.
So you guys know that, let's see, you've dealt with Praktinic, and you dealt with Shaylin. The only other dragon monarch that was, haven't seen or heard from for a while, for at least the last 2 years, that had been, roaming the land and attacking kingdoms and stuff in Tandesh, is Krigajard.
Oh shit.
So
He's
you know,
the strongest one, though.
he's definitely still around. King Tyrell Haas is continuing to assemble his forces, and along with the rest of the ambassadors that you guys had talked with a couple sessions ago. Bartolomir, the head of the Dragonborn, Ralphel, the general from Sparthorn. You had allied yourself with Corneliodus, the ambassador from Oscaria of the High Elves, as well as Thanes Vorik of the Goliaths. So those factions have all committed themselves to helping your cause and of gathering their forces, as well as the individual powers that you've encountered along the way. And Terry Saber, while still not so happy with you guys, has agreed to that your way is the best means of bringing Shaylin back, or the best chance that he has of bringing Shaylin back. So he offered to help you, especially if it involves killing dragons and breaking Tiamat's hold on them. Robin has also, of course, offered you his help, as well as Kildrak.
What about Euphemia?
Euphemia's along with Kildrak. They're off making a sword for her right now, but that's how you get in touch with Kildrak, is to contact Euphemia, and she has one of the sending stones.
Oh, sweet.
I want to cast Scrying.
Sure. What are you scrying on?
The dude who almost blew up a town saying I do.
Telephos.
I can't remember his name.
His name was Telephos. Okay, so they had, the last they were trying to enact the imprisonment spell on their whole population.
Yep.
And they did so right at dusk, that brief moment between day and night, to try to escape the vision of the dragons that were in their area.
Yep.
Unfortunately, that involved traveling underground, and you know that Krigajard has tremor sense, the ability to sense moving underground, that while he would not be able to see them, he might be able to detect them as they submerged beneath the surface. If they were, you also know that even if they were alive, they would be within the imprisonment spell. They would be stasis basically in there. Okay.
So my conclusion would be that if it doesn't work, they're alive. If it does work, I'll see a corpse.
All right. So you're gonna cast Scry. Double check the spell. I'll link it in chat so people can see. Okay. Go ahead and roll an arcana check.
Okay.
And burn the spell slot.
Okay. 5th level completely.
Okay. You settle down now that the work with Robin has done, and as you do, you begin the work of casting the scry spell. This spell takes a little while to formulate. It's a slow burning spell, to say the least. 10 minutes, and as you do, your friends kind of relax around you. The stress of the recent situation is, they're just processing all the events that's happened. The people of the town around you are familiarizing themselves with you. You hear whispers and rumors of the common folk pointing in your direction, saying, "Them's the ones that cured the disease." I heard they slew that dragon out in the field. Those kinds of things. And they summoned rocks from the sky, burning rocks to destroy it. The people are keeping a healthy distance away from you. You can tell that they're in awe of your abilities, of your appearance, your aura. As you're doing it, one young boy though, there's probably like a 20-foot gap or maybe a 30-foot gap between the people and you, as they're all just kind of just watching you. But a young child, breaks the line, the unspoken line, and runs up to you. And he has in his hand a small wooden doll that he had carved, that he had hacked out of some dry wood around the area. He runs up to you, Deimos. He comes up to you and he holds it up to you, wordlessly, and he's just holding up his little doll to you.
Okay, now I'm looking at this kid. Does this kid look like he might have a mom?
You scan up in the crowd, and you do see a kind of weary-looking middle-aged lady come breaking through the line, just a few rows back in the line. She's you can tell she's looking frantically, and she as she looks and she catches eyes of her son, standing right in front of you. A shocked look comes across her face, and she kind of rushes forward towards you. Calling out his name. Jonas, get back here.
Well, as long as that little carving doesn't look evil or crazy or super like gonna blow my face off, I'll totally take it. And I'm gonna give him, on the hush hush, I'll be like, give this kid like 12, I don't know, what's a 15 gold pieces. And I'm like, all right, you're gonna buy yourself a sword with this. And I give him a Tempest packet.
You drop the coins into his hand, and his eyes just widen. You can tell it's a lot of money for him. And you put the little parchment in his hand, and he smiles. He says, "Thank you, mister." And he turns around and he runs back to his mother.
Is there anything special about this idol thing?
It's a little doll. It's a kid's toy. He's offering it to you. You didn't ask him why, but you assume it was because he was grateful to you for something that you guys did.
All right. As long as I don't think it's a trap, I'm gonna stick that on my armor somewhere.
Okay. So you attach a little wooden doll to your armor. It has a distinction of being that child's most precious possession.
Are you still wearing a bikini armor, even though you're a dude now?
I don't know how that. I want to say it probably changed, but for some crazy reason, Deimos always has just a slight hint of his midriff showing. It's the weirdest thing. Like, it never went away.
Hey guys, you don't understand. It's very versatile and very flexible.
It's for comfort, right?
Yeah, it's for comfort. Makes me feel strong.
I mean, it's got to be comfortable. Otherwise, girls wouldn't wear them all the time.
Mm-hmm.
All right. As the crowd kind of gathers around, they're just watching you. One of the things that has most of their eyes, though, is Adis sitting on the ground, having conjured up the circle of the rune sequence around him that are now just like burning. They're a dull red, but there's smoke coming up from the runic circle around him on the ground. In the middle, he's seated on the ground, kind of cross-legged, with a large mirror that he had produced from his pack. just lying flat on the ground. As he releases the scry spell, his eyes open. You can see them dully beneath his mask, glassed over, and he begins to see as his vision travels across the plains and across the various fields and forests and mountains of this continent. Adis, your vision flies northward to the land of Mistrala. So you guys are here in Taswan, where the blue circle is, and your vision flies up north towards Mistrala. And as it does, you do catch glimpses of things around you, fractions of sights and fields along the way. I mean, you're not quite sure of exactly what you're seeing, but you do notice as your vision begins to decelerate, you do catch a glimpse of the town of the foot of the spire. At the foot of the spire, completely decimated, rubble, no buildings standing. Even the chapel that you guys had already attended, where the wedding happened just several days prior, completely collapsed, and the massive pile of rubble and broken stone from the spire itself collapsed on the ground, broken into large boulders and shards. You pause there, and you can feel the spell flicker, and hesitate. Before your vision plunges down deep beneath the surface, and at this point, I need you to roll a d20.
Okay. Just straight.
Straight d20. I told you I'd do it, and the fate of the
Oh no.
of the Mistrala population was hinging on that die roll.
Nice.
Your vision, as it sinks deep beneath the surface, hundreds of meters, suddenly stops, and you're confronted with a large, glistening, completely smooth surface deep beneath the ground. You're not sure how far it extends or how large it is, but you can't see through it, but you do know that it's some kind of magical barrier.
All right. Well, for the moment, at least, maybe they're alive.
That's what you find out.
Okay.
Best news I've heard all day.
I'll relay that information to them. What did I have to roll above for them to not all be dead?
10 and higher.
Oh, thank God. I was like, oh my God. At first, I thought you were making me roll to see if my spell attracted attention to them. Because I didn't think about that.
9 and lower, Krieger would have noticed them as they were descending, and the spell would have failed.
Ouch. Well, it seems like they're fine and dandy, except for there's one problem, guys. The dudes who cast the spell are inside of it, stuck in stasis, which means they can't let it go.
That's a problem for a later time.
I don't think imprisonment is a concentration spell.
Let's look it up.
Oh, it may not be. It may be just the last till dispelled. I can't remember, to be totally honest.
Imprisonment. Duration until dispelled.
It is. Oh, damn. They are stuck there till we can get 20 fucking mages together to dispel the damn thing.
Oh, yeah, we got that.
That's like
Again,
that's
problem for a later time.
right.
I mean, I'll just cast Dispel at like level 20.
But based off the scrying, it seemed like the spell took them down really, really far. So hopefully they'll be safe down there.
Watch. Mud is like, unfortunately, it's the summertime on the sun, which causes different magnetical poles in the center of this Fey rune or wherever the fuck we're at. And unfortunately, there's a lot of like earth shifting around that point in time, and yeah, they get crushed.
I don't think the sphere can be broke by non-magical means. I think it's
Oh,
impenetrable.
get crushed by the earth.
I can hear Midas thinking, challenge accepted.
They're cooking inside there right now. They're cooking and hard boiling underneath the earth right now.
It's a perfect, comfortable atmosphere inside the sphere.
Just stop trying, man. He's gonna come up with something.
Oh, I
Alright,
don't
so what are you
care
guys
if
doing?
those people die.
What are you guys doing?
You guys want to go kill the dragon?
Yeah, I want to kill him. I mean, we should like be able to
No,
separate
yeah.
his bomb.
Besides Praktinik, they're all kind of our friends, so.
So
shouldn't
how
really-
long has it
Okay,
been
you want to go
since?
capture a giant rock dragon dude?
Yeah, dude, he's super fucking cool.
Yeah, we could probably totally get him to come out of the ground now.
Yeah,
He's also twice. He was. Kriegershard is twice the size of Praktinik.
yeah, he's freaking sweet. How long has it been since the original fight we had with Praktinik?
Oh, not very long. 3 days.
It's okay.
How many days has it been since I nuked that corpse?
Oh, that was like this morning.
Okay.
No, maybe the day before, because you were.
Okay.
Yeah, the day before.
I wasn't sure if we had passed any time with doing the treatment for anybody.
So when's Biffin supposed to be done reflecting on himself?
We don't know.
Well, a little bit better than it was 3 days ago, I'm guessing. That's all we know.
I think we should take a trip to Mistrala.
Or
Well, because their giant spiffy tower came crashing down, and I would love to go pilfer it.
Well, if we got nothing to do, do you guys want to go check on Jumbo? Maybe Jumbo became the lord of that castle that we were at.
Which castle?
you mean
Oh.
Jumbo the elephant?
Uh-huh.
He's pretty cool. Also, if we are going to try to take on Cray Cray, we probably should have some sort of plan. Or just waltz in there and just get eaten.
There's also one other thing we could do too. So you remember when we left Hell? That dude that's stuck in the wall. Well, we do kind of technically know how to free him now.
What, dude?
Which dude? Yeah.
The dude that gave me
Oh,
the scroll.
the curly mustache dude.
Yeah.
Oh, Dolric.
Yeah.
We do technically know how to free him now.
Oh,
Can we
How
free
is
him?
that?
dudes, let's go take revenge on Balinar. Maybe we can take that stupid worm now.
Yes, there. That's
Can
that's
we?
the-
Can we? I will wreck its bitch face.
Let's do it.
That's our next adventure, right there, Midas.
Oh, and then we can get Cray Cray to follow us. We can have Cray Cray fight the worm.
Say what now? Is this another woman you pissed off, Deimos?
No, this is.
I mean, I don't know what's Bender, but it's a massive demon worm.
It's a
Wait,
giant
so-
worm.
The
Don't
demon
gender
lord.
shame. Don't
So-
gender
Lord,
shame
trapped
the worm.
underneath the earth.
So you don't just piss off elves and humans, you piss off demon worm women too.
I mean, I didn't piss off your mom.
My mom died before you were even shitting in diapers, kid.
I rezzed her. How do you think this works?
I didn't realize you were into necrophilia, Deimos.
I'm not. I rezzed her, and then I banged her.
Yeah, sure you did.
She was. I was like, actually, could you tell her to stop calling me?
Oh, that's your problem, Deimos.
I know it really is. By the way, you have like 17 siblings.
That's cool, and you have about 20 different STDs.
No, actually, I can't get STDs.
Yeah.
Tempest.
Don't be so sure about that, buddy.
Nah, trust me.
Have
And
you seen
at that, I'm gonna
Have
walk
you-
away, and I actually stick
have
my
you seen
hat
the
on.
book?
It's
Have
in
you
my
seen the
fur
book
coat and my
with the
cane. And I
list
start
of
just
magical STDs?
walking away with a slight little hobble.
And he feels a poke in his ass.
Oh, it's cool. Mother like son. Oh.
And then he
Oh,
feels
yeah.
something penetrate his butthole.
You only can penetrate 5 pounds. You can't get through this squatting butt that easily.
I can shrink it down.
I mean, you can try.
Right, so what are we doing?
All right, so
5
are we?
pounds of strength.
I don't know.
Don't make
As
me
you get-
bust out Bigby.
As you guys are talking, there's a bit of commotion back out near the town, further out in the town entrance, and you see people part ways a little bit as an armored figure on horseback comes riding into the town. You can hear a voice shouting out. Now the sheriff is inside the building. Robin had just went inside to talk with the sheriff.
Right. That's right. We're right outside the keep.
Okay.
I'm gonna yell at him to grab his attention.
As the crowds part ways, the figure in the middle of town, you hear him shout out, "Where is your liege? I bring an order of summons from the King of Sparthorn." Some of the guards point and look around, and they say, "We have no liege. Our city was recently decimated by a plague, and before that, a dragon, as you can see." The man says, "Regardless, the King of Sparthorn has sent messengers all around Taswan. We are recruiting. We are drafting all able-bodied individuals. There is a war coming, and every hand is required."
Deimos, did this guy just say a war was coming?
I don't know, but I'm intrigued.
Do you have a boner right now, Deimos?
Just a little one.
I thought the war came like a few years ago for you guys.
Which war? There's
What
always
war?
war here.
Yeah, pretty much.
We don't know when there's not war. It's the craziest thing.
So did maybe this dude like fall through a time portal or something and doesn't know what's going on?
Oh, maybe.
Possibly. I ask him, what war is this that you speak of, good sir?
So you're heading to go talk to him?
I will walk over and talk to him.
He looks down at you from his horse. He says, "Dwarf, are you part of the leadership of this town?"
I am not, but if there is a war, I have a interest in making sure that things go well in the war.
He says, "Well, you should know then that I am on orders from General Ralphel himself, High Commander of the Armed Forces of Sparthorn. We are recruiting all able-bodied men from within this entire nation, this entire country, from every kinghold. There is a war coming. We are assaulting the demon fortress itself. Ha!"
Sorry.
I snigger as well, and I say, well,
Good luck with that.
yeah, good luck with that. I would recommend you don't do that. And and yeah, just good luck. I'm not even gonna
I'm
try
gonna
to
ask him.
stop.
I'm gonna ask him. Where is this demon fortress that you plan on attacking? Excuse my
frigid.
French.
He says, "In the frigid, god-forsaken land of Rapnesh, we are allying with forces from all around the world. Even the cursed dragon-born creatures are coming,
Yeah, that sounds like a
and
okay.
the highfalutin elves from Oscaria.
Oh,
They
I
are
know
joining
those.
forces. But we,
yeah, we're-
from Taswan, we will prove our valor. We will prove our veracity, our ferocity.
will-
we will win the day. We will win honor to our king and our general."
I'm sure you will, and I would like you to know that we are the ones that are leading this attack.
He looks at you. He says, "You don't look like warriors to me. Where's your armor? Where's your sword and your?"
Albrecht, Albrecht.
I mage hand slap his horse on the ass.
Oh man, I was gonna ask Albert if he wants to
But a
morph
tickle to a
into.
trained warhorse is none but the dwarf who wears a proper weapon.
He can't see it.
I'm gonna tell him. And who has ordered the movement of troops?
Bro, do you want to morph
General
up it on
Ralphel
your
himself.
shoulders?
Where
You
is
just keep
this
running.
General Ralph?
The most
Dude, was that?
rifle attacking warriors ever.
What?
You go first, Amos.
Oh, no, sorry. Keep going. Sorry. I was just talking to Albert.
I was gonna ask him if ask you, Midas, if this General Raffeld was at the meeting in Haslin.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, that was this guy.
Oh, okay. All right. So that fucker knows this. I'm gonna tell him. Well, can you point us in the direction of your general? I would like to speak to him.
The army is gathering at the northern border of Tasman. He points north. Yes. 1 week's journey by horse.
Okay.
Could you point on the map exactly where it's at? Because these guys are really good at Uber.
He says, north, in Sparthorn. So looking at the map, you're looking at this area here.
It's not too far away.
Okay, that's on a week's journey on foot, on horseback, pushing the horse at like a breakneck pace.
What?
More like 2 weeks of casual riding.
What's the closest place we've been to, or we've passed through?
You went when you guys traveled through this area. You went from Ospium and you went like a slightly circuitous route up to Mistrala. That was kind of the path that you took. Along the way, you passed through the kinghold of, I forget his name, Nanjin, I think, right here, where you killed its ruler, assassinated him while he was on the shitter.
He was evil, so it's totally
Totally
cool.
Game of Thrones his ass.
Well, we killed him.
They literally
We rezzed him. Then we went away, and Tempest was like, "Come on, bro!" And we went back there and killed him in the shitter.
He teleported back into his bathroom while he was on the crapper, and Deimos like 1,000 gold punched him and splattered his body across the room, and then you guys teleported away.
And pissed off his daughter in the process.
His niece.
And that's how I got my strong arm. Because she stabbed me sexually.
What is with you guys and pissing off women? Seriously.
We're cool now.
Yeah.
She did kiss you.
I mean, do you actually not know what a relationship's like? If she's not mad at you all the time, you know you're in a bad relationship.
Man, you spend 200 years in hell and see how much you know about relationships.
200 sexless years in hell, by the way.
Sexless years. Yeah, that sounds pretty not good.
Yeah, exactly. And if you don't want to experience it, I suggest you be silent.
I don't want to experience that. It's like, hey, if you have the experience getting kicked in the groin 47,000 times for 200 years, like, no, I don't want to experience. That's a terrible idea.
I can impart the entire experience upon you if you would like.
No, bro, I said it's a terrible idea.
Exactly. Just like you continuing to poke fun about it is a bad idea too.
No, I just think
How
you
lucky
need
are you guys feeling today?
you need to get laid. Oh, super lucky.
I'm feeling like I want to transform into my new dragon form and fucking crush somebody right now. And this guy on the horse is looking pretty tasty right now.
I'm gonna gather everyone and teleport to the north, roughly in the direction that that keep is at, like wherever they're gathering.
Okay.
That's why I was asking how lucky we were feeling.
Oh,
All right.
No, we're gonna have to roll on the table.
Ooh.
Elwyn,
You have to roll an Arcana check for that, right?
Do I just roll on the table?
Roll on that
Hold
table.
on.
Here's
Wait,
the
is
table.
it a skill check? Is it a skill check?
No, it's just
This is a teleportation to a. Oh shit!
Perfect.
All right. 96. What in the hell? I don't think you've ever rolled a mishap on the teleportation table.
No, not yet.
Like ever. You always roll well on it. Jeez. All right, yeah, it doesn't
I
I think
matter.
he got stuck with the curse of rolling really good in that. When I got that, was it the divine intervention? So good lower levels.
I'm gonna bring
Um,
Homeboy along if he wants to.
Oh, that. Oh wait, no, doesn't he have to actually talk to people?
Who are you bringing? Oh, the dude on the horse.
Yeah, if he wants to.
Yeah, he's recruiting, I believe. So.
He says to you, he says, Folly, I must talk to the ruler of this kinghold, and recruit every able-bodied man to join the war effort.
Good luck with that. See you later.
All right. As you cast the teleport spell, when you see him heading off to the keep, and you hear him shouting at the guardsmen, "Open this door! I must speak to the ruler of this kinghold." All right, you guys teleport, and you vanish, and you appear in a very large, very well fortified city. A city is a generous word. The kingholds are smaller than cities. It's more like a very well established keep. But judging by the coloration of the banners, by the people around, by the militaristic nature of the environment, this is Sparthorn.
And we just appeared out of nowhere in the middle of it.
Yeah. So you guys plop down. See, I don't have a good picture for this.
It's a new
Uh,
day.
This isn't bad. Hold on one second. Okay. You guys plop down in the middle of, or on the outskirts of the city, and you see armored knights and people all around, but this is kind of what it looks like.
Oh, that's cool.
Okay.
Lord shit. So what are we doing here?
Does everybody look like they're preparing to move, or are they just gathering for now?
You can see, you definitely see individuals coming in from all. There's multiple crossroads, multiple roads that lead to this city, and you see troops of men, ragtag equipment. Some of them are just like farmers and stuff, bearing like scythes and hoes and farming utensils as weapons. Others are from, you can tell, like noble families that have retinues with them. Some bearing armor and swords and war horses, that kind of stuff. Pockets of them from all these roads, just traveling towards the city. At each gate, there's a checkpoint. There are guards stationed at each gate, and they're requesting that each party identify themselves, and before they're gained entrance and assignment in the city interior.
I'm gonna huddle this up real quick. Hey guys, do you guys remember if our group had a name? I know we
It was the Fluffy Paw Avengers. Trust me on this one.
no. Remember we made a name and
That was a long time ago.
Yeah, it was
long ass.
Bright
I know what it
Lord
is.
something something.
It's Deimos's girlfriend slayers.
Wait,
Bright
I
Lord's
wanna slay your
Vengeance, a long time
girlfriend. I
ago.
knew way better than that.
Bright
But,
Lord's Vengeance.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, Bright Lord's
That's
Vengeance.
what-
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so I start heading over there. I'll go ahead and spend a 4th level spell slot to give Quigley his butterfly wings so he can
Oh yeah, Quigley's there. That's right. All
get
right.
distracted a little bit. And I'm gonna tell him just keep up with us, okay, Quigley?
Quigley's he's happy with his regained butterfly wings, and he stays a good 5 feet overhead, fluttering erratically in the air.
I start heading towards where I would, if I was a general, where I would be if I was a general.
Okay, so you walk up to one of the larger gates, and there's a guard there. I'll use this picture again since they're wearing similar armor. at the gate. There's several guards there, but as you guys arrive there, the people that they were interviewing ahead of you has already passed through the gate, and this guard looks at you and says, "Halt right there! Identify yourselves."
I am Elwyn, the fire god from Bright Lord's Vengeance, and these are my friends, and we are here to speak with the general. He knows who we are.
You think based on reputation you will gain entrance to our city? Prove yourselves. Do you know where you are?
And how would you like me to prove myself?
Yes. Where do you think you are? This is not some namby-pamby kinghold where you can just come up and claim entrance. This is Spartan! We are a warrior nation. Prove yourselves by force of might.
We'll walk up to him and I will
Who wants to take care of this?
I'll walk up to him and I will very quickly see, how do I want to do this?
I'm gonna sit down.
Flick him, but I'm gonna flick him with a lot of force behind it and see if I can knock him off his seat with just a single flick.
You're gonna do the forehead thump?
Yep, like that.
And then before he hits the ground, I'll grab him with a telekinesis spell and put him back on his horse.
There might be a problem here if he's on horse, because I don't think I can reach that.
Oh.
Why don't you just pick up the horse?
Yeah, I'll pick up the horse, actually. Let's do that. That's a better
Just
idea.
walk underneath.
Just use a mage hand and fist the horse. It's gonna knock him off.
I'm just gonna go under the horse and pick up the horse, move him outside of the road, and gesture for my friends to walk past him.
Alright, okay, one second. Hold on. I gotta find the right section. I'm gonna retcon your action. How do you link to a YouTube specific time? Copy video. There it is.
Hit share and hit the check at the bottom.
Ooh.
This is what you do.
These in a long time.
I'm retconning your action, Killjack.
Just off the horse.
Alright, let's see what this is.
I mean, I'll do that as well. I just don't want to hurt the horse.
That's the best part of the movie.
That was a good movie.
I'm retconning it, so you go up to me, you just like front kick him right in the chest and blast him backwards
sure,
through the
fine.
doorway. He goes flying back through the door. The door bursts open behind him. One of the other guards comes up to him and says, "Right." Just, credentials acknowledged. And they
I still think it would have
they
been pretty
wave you
funny
in.
if I would have just picked up the horse, but
They wave you in. Alright, one of the knights accompanies you and says, "You'll be wanting to speak to General Ralphel, I assume."
yes.
As we
sir.
walk in, as we're walking by him, I want to do something.
Okay.
Just because it'll be fun. As we walk by him, I'm gonna cast the guy he knocked on his ass, who's now back up.
Mm-hmm.
How is it? 7th level. I'm going to cast a force cage around him that he just barely fits in.
Okay. So you see him on the ground just struggling. He's in this invisible coffin on the ground, just like flailing, bumping himself up against the force cage, beginning to panic inside.
Can't last for an hour.
Yeah, sound is not getting out. His fellow knights and stuff are swarming around him, trying to figure out. You see them one take an axe and try to break the cage, but it's not working.
It's the most beautiful prison because it can't be dispelled by dispel magic.
I'm gonna tell the guards around him. It'll go away in an hour. He'll be okay.
Yes, but will he be able to breathe for an hour?
Yes, it lets Aaron.
Yeah.
All right. All right. So one of the other guards begins to lead you in. You navigate your ways up and down the meandering streets, and this is Sparthorn is a highly militaristic culture. Every boy is trained from childhood to be a warrior, to be a knight, to seek out honor for his nation, to seek out glory through combat. It's a that's basically just the culture of the city.
Oh, this is like the best place. I start handing out pamphlets to everyone.
I thought that was Damos's thing.
I converted, remember?
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
So how many
Remember that
pamphlets?
was
What-
Damos's brilliant idea on how to make it so the dragons couldn't find us.
I'm wondering how many pamphlets you guys can carry on your body, on your persons at a time, and where you get them from. Gonna make Havs to start dropping in on printers and have them and commission them to print up packets of pamphlets for you.
Maybe Tempest is taking their gold without them knowing it and replacing it with pamphlets.
Now that being said, the population of Kingholes are smaller, quite a bit smaller than the populations of the cities that you've been part of. Otherwise, it's nowhere near the size of Westfane, and certainly not the size of Ospium. All of Taswan is fairly sparsely populated, and it was divided into, I think, 7 Kingholds. So there are several thousand people in the city. You figure at max population probably 10,000 people in the city. You make your way in, and through several checkpoints, the guards usher you in, and finally you find yourself in a large training like training grounds. It's an indoor area that's ringed by a horse track, and all around the track there are chariot riders on horses practicing their craft as they rush by, practicing steering their horses through tight maneuvers, maneuvering their carts and the weaponry on their carts to slice down targets with the blades on their wheels. They with their the bowmen on the chariots practice the archery while moving. The blade bearers, with their long lances and stuff, practice pinpoint accuracy at maximum speed. That's all around the ring of the training grounds. In the interior, there are setups of various kinds. There's sword combatry. There's mace and maul combatry. There's unarmed wrestling going on, and around each of these pits, there's dozens and dozens of people participating in them. Men all bred, trained and bred from birth, basically, to be warriors. Walking amongst them all, you see, let's see, which ones of you were there? I think it was all of you except Adis was at the King Summit. Ralphel, General Ralphel, just recently returned to Taswan from his ambassadorship in Westfane. His hands clasped behind his back, walking, his red cape flowing behind him, his white wispy hair.
15.
Okay, his white wispy hair trailing, catching in the wind, walking back and amongst the ranks of men, watching them train. Every once in a while, he'll make a note. He'll talk to one of his aides, giving specific instructions to the commanders of certain divisions, that kind of stuff. But that's what you see. The guard points him out to you, and begins to approach. As he does, the general pauses, and several of his aides watch you guys warily. As the guard bows before the general and says, "My lord, I bring some foreigners, some outsiders who purport to be of great value, of great significance. They claim to know you, and they have proven themselves at arms at the city gate." The general nods and dismisses the guard, and he looks at you all and he says, I recognize you. It was but 7 days ago when I encountered you far to the south in West Vein. Howbeit that you arrived here so quickly. My horses travel at an above average pace, and I just arrived myself.
We lift a lot.
I can see that by your musculature. It is well developed. It is. He looks at you, Deimos, and you can see a gauntleted hand. He pulls a gauntlet off his hand and he slaps it to your shoulder and he squeezes tightly. You can feel the pressure on your arm. He says, "It is well developed and well established, but that does
Yes, trust me.
not explain your speed of travel."
Oh, yeah, it does.
Magic can do wonderful things.
I gather. This is a magicless land, Sparthorn. We don't deal in such heresies. We honor might of arm and blade and skill in martial combat.
What about Merlin?
Who?
Merlin the wizard? You seem like you guys would have that guy here.
Merlin and Sparta?
Oh, I have no idea. I was making shit up.
It's a show, right?
He says, if there were any magic user of such a name, he would have been banned, exiled, or executed long ago.
Oh,
Yeah, I teleport out of the city.
Right?
Like, what?
I'm not even gonna risk it. I'm out of here.
Oh,
Where are you going?
Just out to the front of the city.
Alright. You vanish in a flash. Ralph says, I see. That is how you traveled.
yeah.
So you see him look at you, Deimos. Then he looks at Albrecht. And then he looks at Quigley and he says, all warriors, I can tell. But you, he looks at Elwyn.
Actually, I don't know. What's Elwyn's stats?
Yeah, this dude's like
mean,
talking about murdering mages and shit. I'm out.
I mean, you guys are like the toughest mages around, like without magic.
Yeah, I don't even think I could beat the dudes that are in this place. There's too many of them. Not
said,
worth
He says, I will withhold judgment upon you for the time being until I hear your purpose. What are you visiting here for? We are gathering the armies, as we agreed upon at our summit. Are you fulfilling your end of the bargain?
Maybe. What was our bargain again?
To deal with the barrier. You
Yeah,
said that you would seek out the one who could penetrate the barrier.
yeah. Somewhat locked down.
Good. And this is
So
good
promise.
news.
We got another dragon to possibly maybe take care of.
Another dragon?
Well, I mean,
There are
just
3.
One. Yeah.
One I
Well-
heard that you had slain. Have you dealt with the other?
The rock one? No.
Oh, he means he heard about Shaylin. He's talking about no one else knows about Practinic. So yes, we've dealt with another.
Says, Gods be praised, dragon slayers! And as he shouts that, he ushers a command, and behind him, one of his aides blows on a trumpet, a large, booming blast across the trumpet, and all the men training around you, hundreds and hundreds of men, stop, and they stand towards you, and he says, Men, we stand in the presence of dragon slayers. These are the ones who have brought down 2 of the blighted ones, the divine scourge that has crossed our land, slaying mortals and felling kings. You are in the presence, men, of greatness. And the men all shout as one with a big, huh! And they cross their arms across their chest, and they raise both arms and fists in the sky, which is the Sparthorn salute. And Ralphel says, "It seems we have chosen our allies wisely." Okay.
Said the mage murderer.
He says he turns to Elwyn. He says, "Given that you are of such standing, we will waive our common practices. You and your friends are welcome in our keep within our land." All right. What do you guys want from him?
I don't know. Elwyn was the one who brought us here, and I think he's.
That's right. Perhaps you wish to know the battle preparations.
Yes.
Let's start there.
Also, do you have siege weaponry?
That we have none of. You see, we are a warrior race. We charge in. We do not depend on machinery. We would depend on strength of arm and skill with a bow.
What do you do if there's like, let's say there's quote unquote like a 400-ton dragon?
We have not had the privilege of battling one before, of facing it on the field of battle. But if we did, we would either slay it or die gloriously. He shows you around. He says, "These are some of our newest initiates. These are not the battle-hardened. These are not the tried and true. What we do have to offer, however," and as you can see, the training resumes. He says, "You see those warriors on the chariots? He says, we have 1,000 such chariots of the utmost craftsmanship and lethality, designed and honed and for battle. We will offer, once our recruiting has been finished, 1,000 chariots, 2,000 longbowmen whose skill with the bow surpasses any other, and our pride and joy, 5,000 armed knights, warriors, skilled with the blade, martial prowess each one of them. I pity the foe who faces up against us."
Do we want to ask these guys to help us with Kriegashar, or are we gonna try that differently?
Well, unless Kringajard threatens us someplace specific, I don't even think we need to hunt him down. I think we just wait for Befinzor.
That would be nice. Okay, yeah. I just didn't know because like Masala's kind of right by the Sesh area, so well, at least their Marchish area. So,
like, if these guys start moving out, we should definitely get to the front line and try to halt as much of the bloodshed until Biffin shows up. But otherwise, I think we're just playing the waiting game. Personally,
Did you speak of Mistrala? That is our agreed upon gathering point. As we speak, the leaders of all the various nations are beginning to marshal their forces and to send them towards Mistrala. We have the privilege of being within marching distance. 2 weeks' journey to Mistrala. And of course, Oscaria borders that nation. But specifically, King Tyrell of Hasselin will have to seek other arrangements. Likewise Bartolomir of the Dragonborn. But we will gather. Our martial point is within Mistrala. We have identified for us a time of gathering. 1 month from now. 30 days. But the combined forces of this land will gather there before we launch our attack into Rapnesh.
Okay. Yeah, I assume we're gonna have to get the Mistrala people if we're gonna do this fight. And that's what's gonna have to happen.
I think Mistral is better off staying down there for now.
You don't think there'll be a problem if everybody meets up at Mistrala?
Like, what are you saying? They're just staging there. I don't think that's gonna attract any attention.
Okay.
Like, what is Krigajard's gonna see a whole bunch of people? Well, maybe you're right. Never mind. What did he say about King Tyrell? They're coming as well, I presume?
Of course they are. King Tyrell was the initiator of this truce, of this pact amongst nations, amongst kings. He will be sending the greater majority of his population. Tyrell has the benefits of living in Westvane, the last bastion of true human civilization. Much larger than we kingholds here. He has gathered with him the remaining fighting forces from Erlin and Waterdeep. Their number will be in the tens of thousands.
Okay, we'll have to contact him and tell him that he's gonna need another staging ground, just so we can keep Mistral safe. And tell him that we'll be there with him, but for now, our best bet is to still just wait for Biffin. So we'll have
What
to
is
talk
it you
to him.
fear? Why change the staging ground?
We buried Mistrala and all of its inhabitants to keep them safe from a dragon attack, and if the dragon we're trying to save them from is extremely attuned with the earth, and if we have a whole bunch of people, stomping around and marching above Mistrala, it might draw attention to them, and we don't want that.
He says, well then I would advise you to find a way to deal with that dragon quickly. Because as we speak, men and weaponry are being gathered by all remaining nations across this land. It would be folly to assume the dragon is still within Mistrala. He may strike at any time.
Yeah, I don't think he is. Maybe there is something to trying to at least distract Krigajard for a while. We need a moment to think.
We are not the only ones marshalling forces. As I said, the Dragonborn are gathering their might. The High Elves of Ascaria are gathering their might. The Goliaths from the border mountains are gathering their might. Even the remaining dwarves have reunited themselves with their homeland and are gathering their forces together. This will be truly a joining of the armies of this world to purge the demon kind from our land.
Oh, I just wish Biffin would come back. We'll get back to you. That's all I say to him.
Understood. We will continue our trainings as we plan to mobilize within 1 week's time.
I wish him the best of luck with that, and say this march will happen one way or another.
It will indeed. In the meantime, make yourselves home. We will place you within one of the barracks. We'll give you a private corner. We have no luxurious accommodations here within Sparthorn. Just warriors' accommodations. Bare straw and wood. We save all our energy for battle.
I asked him, our friend that suddenly vanished, can I contact him and rest assured he does not need to fear his life while within your borders?
Yes, the masked one. I will send word to all of our ranks. You lot, you members of Bright Lord's Vengeance, you are immune from the judgment of our law and the use of magic kind. All right. With that, he gives you a short and curt head nod, and he begins to resume his tasks of overseeing the training of the men.
Is Owen still gone?
Elwin's is
I
on the phone
think
call.
so.
I mean, you can assume that
Um,
they send you word that the city is safe for magic for you guys now.
Yeah, like hell, I'm going back in that town.
Fine by me.
Yeah. Perhaps. Yeah. So what's the
Guess
plans,
it's just you
dudes?
and me talking, Deimos.
Oh, we are fucked. This is
Yep,
awesome.
the two smartest people in the group, right?
Can you can't cast spells, can you? Like mage
Nope.
spells.
You guys can
Alright.
communicate via sending stone. You guys have sending stones.
Yeah, sending stones, I guess.
I
I mean,
don't
I
have-
tell
I
him,
don't
he
have one.
says he's not coming back in, so.
Yeah, but I have the sending spell, so we can communicate.
Yeah, you guys can communicate.
Anyway, okay, well, I guess it's not just you and I, Deimos. Probably for the best.
Yeah, probably is. This is more y'all's cup of tea. I can just stay in a mansion out in the wilderness.
Anyways, so
What do you have to say, the old man?
basically that everyone's marshaling their forces. The staging ground is Mistrala itself. And when he says everybody, he means everybody,
There's an issue with that.
which is
So I basically point this out on the map, in like a sense on the map. So like this like area right here, all the peeps gonna be marching their armies up there. And I tell you right now, thousands of troops stomping across the ground is gonna make so much fucking
Oh,
noise that most of
yeah.
them probably won't
We already
even
went over
make
that.
it.
Krigashars.
yeah.
No, I'm not talking about Mistrala. The probability of the armies getting attacked on their way there is really high.
Yeah, that's. I mean, I was thinking about Mashala, but that's a very fair point as well. He said they were going to move out in 1 week's time. I guess what our next move is to get in contact with Tyrell and see if he can give us timelines on when other people are going to start moving out and such. And basically, we're just going to follow the armies as they begin to move and
Whoa.
provide bodyguard, I guess. And if Krigazard shows up, we take him on.
Does your
That's
friend
our
have
first-
any ships?
Oh, does
Like the coastal nations, what's left of their navies?
Waterdeep was completely taken over by a pirate ghost. Borthal is uninhabited. Rapnesh, I don't remember what's in Rapnesh.
Well,
You don't
the
know what's in
reason
Ratnish.
Actually, how long has it been since we were in Waterdeep last?
At least 2 years, 2.5 years.
Because, oh man,
What is the
We
the
should probably
political or social disposition of this pirate ghost?
oh no, he's dead.
He works. Yeah, he's dead.
Yeah, we got.
You guys killed him.
You got an
Okay.
orc union there.
Oh right.
Yeah, you
right.
guys had
And he
set up
was
that
his
group
friend.
to rebuild the city, along with Obeard
we
and the
should-
remaining population of Waterdeep, to
We
rebuild the
should probably
country.
check with them. Because
Yeah,
there
we
was
should
an
probably
old
check with
beard
them.
and some actual
Well-
pretty. It was a pretty decent sized group.
Hear me out. If Waterdeep still has a fleet, and if the little boy king still has ships, if you were thinking tactically as a general, looking at the way the world is sitting right now, where would you expect the armies of mankind to attack from?
Probably from Rapnesh itself, but
No, like
Well,
if you're the demons,
oh,
where would you
yeah.
expect the attack to come from?
I mean, not from the water, because it would be not a good idea. Because up there, like the water temperature changing from the going from the icy area.
You
probably
don't have
lose,
to go
like, a
very
good-
high north.
I
It's
know,
just
but if-
enough to bypass the mountains. There, where the B is in the name of the mountains.
Yeah, the
Oh,
border
yeah.
mountains.
Yeah,
but I
you
think they're
land.
still just thinking about they have the shielded city, so don't really actually I think care where stuff comes from.
Yes, but if they're out in the sea, they could avoid
No.
Krignar.
Yeah, Enos does have a point. It's just a matter if we have the Navy to do it, which
Yeah.
I don't think there is.
You could talk. You could find out.
Oh yeah, we'll definitely ask. But
And the
also then
elves.
the problem you have with that is, you have the people in Taswan need to march across the way over to the coast, and that's just basically your same problem.
Yeah. The only thing I'm thinking of the problem would be is, okay, so we got a lot of people going by land that regardless would have to go by land.
My guess is Krikajar is going to stay in the vicinity of Mistrala. That's why I was suggesting them march to the coast and sail up.
Oh yeah, but if they sail to the coast, if we split up a decent amount of group, it's like one of the whatever military practice things, whatever you learn in the army. Like the big thing is, if we split up
They'll-
there, they're gonna kind of nuke. It's a lot easier to nuke a smaller force from there.
Do you think
They had the
merging
problem.
them all in Mistrala, you ain't gonna have the same problem?
So it really depends on what our numbers are and what their numbers are. We could technically do the math.
True.
If we split
but-
and try to
but-
pincer, and if they
No,
try to
I
load
don't
one
mean
instance-
pincer. Everybody but the elves goes up the coast.
I mean, if we have
Elves
the
have,
ships,
the elves
we
have
could try.
magic. They can move their own damn asses over there.
What do we know about what's in Rapnish and like the rulers of Quants or whatever that name is and stuff?
What you know from what you learned from Thane's Vorik is that Rapnish was a sparsely populated land of giants, ogres, Goliaths, and that kind of thing. A very sparsely populated country. But they had been driven for years, since the GodBreaking, and since Asmodeus established his portal up in Rapnish somewhere, which now you know is around the vicinity of Kent's, which is the capital city there. The remaining population was basically just either slaughtered or driven away, and they all fled. The giants were the first to fall. The remaining Goliaths fled to the border mountains.
Oh, I thought the gate was all the way up in Nortan itself. I didn't realize it
No.
was in
It's in Rapnish proper.
Kent. Rapnish proper.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's in their capital, isn't it?
Oh, that actually makes things interesting, tactically speaking.
Yeah.
But anyways, I gotta go real quick. Bathroom break.
I mean, it's just a possibility. I mean, granted, we're gonna have tens of thousands of troops, so you're gonna have a lot of ships to transport that many people. But the Goliaths also may know a way through the border mountains, and if we could go up the coast and through the mountains would offer some protection from whatever that other flying douchebag dragon is. Who is the flying one that's left, Midas?
3 that were here were Krigajard, Praktinic, and Shaylin that were roaming the country. They're the ones who were being sent out across the land to destroy nations and that kind of stuff. You know from your reports that one dragon is stationary in Kent itself, flying around, and your belief, you know that it was a flame dragon. You think it's
Okay.
Zarabor.
Okay.
The rest of the dragons, so you're talking Teofensia, Nebularos, and Mirex.
They're
were
all
sent
torching
out.
the rest of the planet.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I just want to remind you real quick of who we know is assembling. We know Taswan is assembling. We know the elves in Oscaria are assembling. We know the humans in Haslin are assembling. We know the dwarves in Haslin are assembling. Do we know any other places where people are going to march from?
The guys in the border mountains.
The border mountains, the Goliaths there.
Okay, they're marching there, and I assume the Dragonborn are coming from Haslin?
The Dragonborn were they had gathered over here after you guys met them in the Dragon Summit, which was over here. Remember last time you saw them? They had kind of made their
Yeah.
base over in the now. Galabarum was the homeland of the gnomes. That was one of the first places in the demon invasions get completely destroyed. So the Dragonborn had sort of set up their home base there. So they'll be coming from Galabarum.
Okay, am I missing anybody?
Nope, that's pretty much it. I mean, those are the ones that you contacted. The pirate
about
nation of
the-
Borthol was mostly ever since the pirate lords fell in the massive battle of the Salt Sea that you guys took part in, you're not sure what happened as far as the rulers of that nation within Borthol. So you're not sure there. Waterdeep, likewise, you know that a lot of the surviving forces of Waterdeep had evacuated from there, had fled in the year prior to Haslan itself, because a lot of these places have been destroyed by dragons. So what you're talking about is the remaining pockets of civilization that had escaped the dragon's wrath.
What about the Animal Girl Kingdom?
Oh, the lycanthropes?
Yeah.
You're not sure. You haven't reached out to them. They're up in Sindalar last time.
We
Last
we
time you
scryed one of them. That's why I was asking if we knew anything about them.
No, I was wondering specifically about the people that the general and Taswan had mentioned.
Those are the ones that were at the summit. The lycanthropes were not present at the summit.
Wait. The Boy King did not invite the Animal Girls. Oh, that dude is so getting smacked next time I see him.
Okay, so this is how I'm seeing it. Since the elves and Oscar, I'm actually seeing a pincer type movement here. Since the elves and Oscaria are bordering Rapnesh, I'm thinking that because the thing I'm worried about now, besides having Mistral be discovered, is the marching will cause Krigajar to attack the giant forces marching from Haslan and Galabarum. So what if we take the forces that are pretty much already there, like in Taslan and Oscaria, and have them go through Oscaria and around Mistrala, and then everyone else we take up the coast and have them come in from the west.
We barely got. Well, according to what you guys said, you barely got the elves to commit. You think they're gonna let anybody march through their land?
Fair enough. Because Taswan, like, if we didn't have to worry about Taswan, just getting everyone from Galabarum and Haslan onto boats, that would be no problem. It's Taswan is kind of like they're equal distance from Rapnesh proper and from the sea, so it's like,
I have an idea.
what do we do with them?
Give me a sec. I have an idea. Oh, that only lasts for a minute. Damn it. That would only last a little longer.
If only you guys had a bunch of mages to teleport the army.
No, I was actually thinking about creating a gate chain. Put one mage inside of my dimensional pocket, create a gate into it, and have him create a gate right next to it, so they just go boop, boop.
Oh, I'll walk through the gates.
Yeah.
And we can last. It lasts for a minute, right?
Yeah, no, it only lasts for a minute.
That's interesting. I wonder how long it would take. Let's see. The fighting forces, well, chariots included. Yeah, it would take many minutes to get everybody through gates.
That's what I'm saying. And I can only cast it once a day, so. You could definitely make it big enough to get chariots through, but.
Yeah.
The being only 1 minute. Well, actually, wait. Wait a minute. No, we could actually do this. Albrecht, think about it. We create a gate big enough for a horse and wagon to get through instead of soldiers running through. We have horses with wagons full of soldiers running through it.
How big can you make the gate spell? I'm actually thinking of
20-foot diameter.
Damn. So how many people wide is that across?
5 people wide.
5 people wide. No, that's yeah.
Minimum. In 20 feet, you can cram a lot of people. You can cram.
It's a 20-foot by 20-foot gate. Yeah. And then you just have it go to another plane, and on that plane have someone put a gate right next to it, so they don't even hit that plane. They just go out one gate, in another, and they're wherever we want them to be on this continent.
That's possible.
I mean, these Spartans actually, as tough and fast as they, well, no, they would never agree to it. They hate magic.
Probably not. Yeah, and that's also the problem. So sending them through Elven country. Scratch that idea. I never said that. Okay.
Okay.
I still thinking that we go back to Hasselin once we're there, because I assume if they haven't started marching, they're already on the way.
Well, you can send a message and ask. You have
Yeah, that too. Or we send a person to each.
They all have stones.
Yeah. True. Because I'm thinking, the logistics of trying to maneuver multiple people around Mastrala is hard.
Wait. I got this. We can actually do it. We need, if they would agree to it, if these dudes here would agree to it, we can actually pull it off. Can Elwyn cast Simulacrum?
I don't believe so. He doesn't know the spell if he can.
Negative.
Well, I can cast Simulacrum, which would give me 2 gates a day. But I would need a whole lot of powdered ruby.
Simulacrums don't recover their spell slots.
Yeah, no. That's why I would need a whole lot of powdered ruby, because I'd have to make a new Simulacrum every day. But in 60 seconds, you could move a whole lot of people through a gate if they're ready to go. Basically, you have an army of Spartans charging, and poof, the gate right in front of the line.
Yeah.
And
If we're hold on. If we're attacking them, we're sending them out ready to attack. Then we can release the mages from their imprisonment, because Kriegeshard or what would be called over, since the focus would be to the lands where we're attacking.
Yeah.
They don't need to be in there.
The problem is the Spartans will never make it to Mistrala. Their army is going to make too much noise, and Kriegeshard's going to come and kill them all.
Well, that's where we come in.
Why would you? We'll just free them and then have the mages come over here and teleport them from here.
Yeah, these guys murder mages for fun.
That is true. So, real quick, Midas. Thinking logistically, how long is it going to take an army from Hasselin to make it to Mistrala?
About a month, full speed,
Month at full speed. Okay.
full marching speed.
And they're obviously the farthest
Actually, full
away.
marching speed would be more like 2 months, judging by the size of the continent.
And, mountains they have to go around. And
I just
shit.
feel bad putting Mistrala under the earth and then calling them up so quickly. Feels like a waste of a spell, but whatever.
If I was going to make an educated guess, I would say the sphere is probably in the realm of thousands of feet underground. I don't know that the sphere itself is really in any danger of being discovered by Kriegeshard, because it's no longer moving. My worry is the armies marching across getting discovered.
Hold on a question. Hold on.
Because if they get attacked,
think out loud. I'm holding on myself.
if they get attacked, even if they call out to us to help, thousands could die before we get there to do anything about it. And while we're trying to do something about it, thousands more will still keep dying. I mean, come on, this dude knocked over a tower that stood for thousands of years. What do you think these dudes are going to do about it?
Hold on, I'm looking something up.
I mean, unless Deimos has figured out how to swim through the earth.
Oh, you don't know how
look
to
at
do that?
Deimos.
I'm in a hot tub.
Oh, okay.
He's looking at you, Deimos.
Who is?
Like, with a raised eyebrow, can you do that?
Yeah, when we're speaking, you guys are speaking to me through the sending stone.
Oh, we're trying to figure if we can swim through the ground.
No, I said we probably won't be able to do anything to save the army if they get attacked by Kriegeshard unless you've learned how to swim through the earth, so I can just throw you at him.
Oh. Yeah, no.
Well, actually, wait. Deimos. Realistically speaking, Midas,
Yo.
if I propelled him at extreme speed with in his big beefy form with the invulnerability on him, if I threw him from orbit, what would you do as a DM?
If we threw
Like
from
how
orbit,
from
we'd both
orbit?
be
How
dead.
far could he hit?
Yeah.
How could he hit the ground?
How far
Oh.
could he go down?
Oh. Terminal velocity.
Actually,
Terminal
let me
velocity of a
look-
human being is not terribly fast.
Oh yeah.
No. I'm gonna hurl him so he has more speed than terminal velocity.
It would actually slow me down.
Yeah, he gets
Time I
slowed
hit.
down by the atmosphere.
Now,
You had to be like right above the ground and hurl him.
1 second. Who here is an engineer? In their character.
I'm a philosophy major, bud.
I can
No, we got-
pretend to be.
Haha.
Oh, you mean in
obviously know
real
what
life?
the magical items are called tungsten. We can hurl those and make atomic
Tungsten.
bombs.
Oh, tungsten rods. Yeah.
So I just remember there's a wonderful little spell called silence.
hmm
I'm thinking about maybe of a way to modify that to make it so it can cover an army and they don't make any footsteps.
Why don't we just do we think it'd be possible to drag him out? Because I'm thinking if one of our guys turns into a version of that guy and calls for Kriegeshard to come, Kriegeshard might come out.
Yeah, if we do want to bait him, we have the way to do it now that you say it.
I offered that idea earlier, and you guys wanted to go chase down a horn.
A what?
Yeah, I offered up
horn?
that idea earlier, and you guys
What horn?
said you wanted to go kill some dude and take his horn from him.
What horn?
Oh, the worm avenging Balinar.
Oh yeah. Actually, the worm might actually be our best bet.
That is true. Yeah, Adis, what do you think about modifying the silence spell?
It's possible to cover an army. Making it last a week is a totally different story.
Well, it had to be a month, if not more.
Yeah,
I mean, you'd have to make it last a day essentially and recast each day.
well, what we could try doing is concocting a spell that would work and then make scrolls to give to the armies so their mages could cast it. Because we can't
Yeah.
stay with every army.
Yeah, no, like I said, you just have to concoct up a spell that would last a day that would cover.
But out of character, I'm going to take that back because silence in 5e is not a spell a mage can cast.
You can't cast silence.
Nope, it's not a mage spell.
What kind of?
It's a bard, cleric,
Bullshittery.
druid, desert circle, monk, or ranger are the only ones that can cast silence.
You need a bard.
What kind of bullshittery is this?
All right.
Now,
We know who the bard
Tell
of bards
Deimos,
is, right?
can you cast-
I
let me
got
look.
this.
Let me look through my shit.
Because can't wizards cast all spells?
No,
No,
you can cast
no.
most.
No, silence is basically the anti-mage spell.
That's true. Well, never mind, because I don't. Even if Deimos knew the spell, I don't think he'd have the knowledge to modify it.
You guys know who the most
Alright.
powerful bard is, right?
Yep, Euphemia.
Euphemia?
No.
No, the dude.
Telephos.
Oh, Telephos.
Dude. Yeah, I wonder how many mages it takes for them to get it on.
Oh,
The only problem with Telephos is he's in
imprisonment
that
spell.
field.
Would that stop you from gate summoning a specific person?
Yes. No one can teleport in or out of, or no magic can penetrate in or out of the imprisonment.
That's unfortunate.
Not from any normal mortal, anyway. As far as
Why
I'm
did we
aware.
do such a good job with this?
Let me double check. Let me double check.
Because if you could gate just Telephos out, I think we'd have a shot at moving
Minimus
armies.
containment. But nothing because I'd actually it would depend. Would you consider gate to be a teleportation or planar travel, Midas?
For sure. Planar travel for sure.
Okay, then no, it wouldn't work. Because it prevents planar travel.
No, that's fair enough. I was about to say, because if you can gate just Telephos out, we would have a shot.
Now, what do we think a large demon worm would do?
Actually, wait. I might be able to get.
Good question.
Actually, guys, I might be able to. If we can find out where Telephos is inside the sphere, I might be able to get him out.
I have no idea how to specifically know where he is.
I know, because I can nullify part of the sphere, but not the whole thing at one time. But it'd be a gamble knowing where he is.
The sphere was 100 yards by 100 yards by 100 yards.
Yeah.
So basically 100 yards diameter.
Oh, that's actually not very big. I thought it was bigger.
Oh no, it was actually quite small compared to like all of Mistrala. A lot of people actually died.
Nah, man, I
This
turned all
is
them
true.
guards. I turned all them guards into eagles. They better have fucking saved everybody. I'm gonna kill them all.
They saved as many as they could.
Well, then you killed them all with your meteor swarm.
It wasn't mine. I didn't cast that
It
meteor
was-
swarm.
Elwin's meteor swarm. Yeah, whichever people didn't make it to the circle in time died in the meteor swarm. So what are you guys gonna do? You got several options in front of you. And you haven't talked to any of these leaders besides General Ralphel to see what they're doing or what resources they have at their disposal.
I've been
Yeah,
telling
let's
them
give
to get
up.
on-
I'll give what's his face a call. Tyrell.
Tyrell?
Yeah. Ask him. Make sure he. I want to confirm that this general isn't just going rogue. Seems like something he might do.
Yes. Oh, hello, Albrecht. Are you here to contact me about mobilization of forces?
Indeed, I am.
Good,
we
good. I
hear
was just
that-
planning. There's so much going on. It's very exciting news.
Well, that's good to hear. We have a bit of concern with a whole bunch of marching troops, though, and that is the fact
Yes?
that the last dragon to be ravishing this continent is very attuned with the earth and might be able to sense a whole bunch of marching feet over a great distance.
Oh, no worries. We do not plan to be marching. I have quite a few forces that, already gathered under my banner. We've been working for quite some time, months indeed, to gather these forces together. And I have quite the plan. I've done the math and I've consulted my advisors. We will be able to transport the entirety of our armed forces to Mistrala within the 30-day agreed upon gathering time. Without marching at all. Isn't that grand?
That is very grand. I would like to know how you plan that. Plan to do that.
He says,
How did
I have
forget?
with me the remaining populations of Waterdeep, Erlin, and of course my own country. Now gathered, we've all been ravaged over the years, over the past 2 years by experiencing significant losses from dragon attacks. But, I have managed to gather together 25 hardened and experienced mages. And according to my advisors, doing the math, and the usage of combined numbers of teleportation circles and the teleportation spells, I can move my entire army of 50,000 strong to Mistrala over the course of the next 30 days.
25 mages is a lot, and that will probably actually work. So that's that problem taken care of.
We plan to start within 2 days.
That is
Uh,
wonderful news.
Ask him if Mistrala's teleportation circle is still intact.
We tested it, and that is the reason why our numbers are so dwindled. We've located 2 functional teleportation circles within Mistrala, so that limits the number of men we can transport at a given time.
So that's why it'll take you a fair amount of time to transport everybody.
Indeed. But my mages are committed to the task.
Do they not have one of their own down there? Like a
Their own what?
permanent one?
Yeah, they do.
They do? Okay, this is my question. Has how teleportation circles work changed?
From
Well, because if the teleportation circles are permanent, it's literally walk up, walk through, and you're on the other side. So,
You still need a mage to cast
no,
it.
no, you don't. Not with a permanent one. You just need to know the cipher, the password, basically, or have
to
some kind of-
arrive there.
like,
To leave from there, I don't know that it works that way.
you don't cast a spell if both circles are permanent. It's like walking. It's just like walk on and you activate it and poof. But my point is if there's a permanent one there, if we can somehow, if they have a permanent one, they shouldn't need all the mages, and we can get the mages to come here to cast teleportation circles to move this army.
I'm sure both Midas and I are looking up teleportation circle right now.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now here. Let's see how this works.
When it's permanent, you need not use the circle. Or wait, hold on, where was it? There's a thing about it.
My understanding of it is that it creates a permanent place for you to arrive at. Because when you cast a teleportation circle, you draw it's rare chalks and inks and stuff, and you draw a circle on the ground that it's a 10-foot diameter circle that you and whoever's with you can gather into, and you can travel to a known location, a known existing circle.
When you cast teleportation circle, you draw that on the ground with sigils that link your location to a permanent one. That's what I'm asking. Do they have a permanent one that's linked to Mistral? Is what I'm asking.
No,
Because
No,
if
they
they had because if they had a linked one, it's literally walk through. You're there, so we could
No,
borrow
they
some mages. Okay, cool. But they do have teleportation circles. Teleport is something we can cast a lot more often.
yeah.
But we don't
Yeah,
have
so that's the Haslin problem taken care of, and at some point in time, does your calculations tell you they think it'll take a whole month to transport 50,000?
Yeah, that's gonna be the majority of the month to send. They start in 2 days.
Okay, how big do we know? How big did Leonidas say his forces was?
He's got 1,000 chariots, 2,000 longbowmen, and 5,000 knights.
Okay, so significantly less.
a-
And how many Dragonborn do we know of?
You haven't asked them.
Albrecht, tell the Boy King to
So
tell his troops.
General
that are going
Ralphel
to-
says this.
Sorry, not to interrupt, but judging by like these guys like fighting and stuff, I was kind of looking at. Can we tell they're tougher than the standard, soldier that's been in other places, or very similar?
Which ones?
For the Spartan guys.
Oh yeah, they're totally buff. The knights are anyway.
Albrecht, tell the Boy King to tell his troops he's already sending to Mistrala not to walk around in large groups.
Well, I will tell even when you're there, you will need to minimize all movement just to make sure we don't attract too much attention from Kyrgyzstan. Especially if, he probably senses everyone in Haslin, and then if they suddenly all appear in Mistrala, that'll pique his attention.
He says, to minimize movement, are you saying... He says, there are only 2 functional teleportation circles. Our plan was to send the first vanguard forces out there to clear the teleportation circles and establish a base camp at each location. If there's any rubble or brush or enemies in the area, to of course fight them off. Quite a bit of recruitment and volunteerism went into establishing this first strike team. They're our best men, and their assignment is to arrive there, clear out each teleportation circle, and secure the grounds for us to begin sending the rest of our troops over the next weeks, of the upcoming weeks. There will be thousands of people arriving daily.
Oh, yeah. Let's. You said 2 days.
Yes.
Well, I'll get back to you on that. I gotta think about it for a moment.
All right. So from the sounds of what Dan was just thinking, is that we might have to just deal with Krugashar.
Yeah.
So trying to skirt around things. Now, they did say they had in Hasselin they had some really cool siege weaponry. And if they can teleport stuff and they have these circles, in 2 days, if they were thinking about maybe staying a few, because I mean, I'm sure as soon as they start setting stuff, Krugashar is going to start attacking, quote unquote, maybe. But I'm sure that could definitely help.
That is a bit of an issue, he says. Our siege weaponry is larger than a teleportation circle can manage. We have not quite divined a way to send that to Mistrala.
Oh, fair enough.
However, I've heard that the dwarves are planning on arriving with quite a bit of siege weaponry. They have the means of transporting those things via large trailers, basically, essentially a caravan of sorts. They've already departed.
Oh, that is good to know. So.
That is good news. I will tell Hyrel that it is good news to hear that he has divined a way to make sure he is not marching 50,000 people over the overground, and that his teleportation circles sound like a plan, and we will contact him if we have any further information or in need of his assistance.
Very good, I thank you. Now, I am concerned, though. We had not quite taken Krigashar's activity into account in our planning. The dwarves have already left over a week ago. Their plan was to gather in northern Erelin with the surviving members from Cragland. So they're meeting here in northern Erelin. Dwarves are coming both from the surviving place in Hasselin and the surviving place in Cragland. Any survivors from Cragland to meet in this way. And their newly elected leader, Sigma Prima, she has promised me that the combined engineering might and crafting might of the dwarves is at our disposal. She has promised me some 150 ballistae, 200 of their impervious crag machines, and 50 of their newly designed long-range catapults, along with their retinue of engineers, demolishers, and dwarven axemen.
Yeah, that sounds good. Like I said, we'll contact them and see if they, just so they're aware of the threat, and see if how we might be able to help them. It sounds like you've got a good plan. As far as when you get to Mistrala and worrying about Krugashar, we're probably just going to take them on ourselves, so we'll let you know if that's the case.
Understood.
Otherwise, while you're there, don't do any gigantic troop training or like just marching around a field or something like that. But otherwise, I think you should be fine.
And if there's any earthquakes, tell him to call us immediately.
Yeah. If you get any sense of unstable earth, call us immediately.
Understood. I shall instruct my generals to do so.
And I'm gonna call Elwin's girlfriend now.
Okay. Alright. You see Eloise dressed differently. instead of the double battle axes that she normally has, she has in her hands a a rod, and you recognize it as a dwarf as a rod of authority, one that is passed through dwarven culture and generations as the thing that the ruler of the nation wields. It's wrought out of plain iron to represent the basic crafting material that dwarves build their entire culture upon. Instead of the armor that she customly wears, she's robed in basic kind of loose fitting robes and satins, and you see her riding aboard a very large, um, well engineered, very sturdy, like cart, and it's elevated. There's a lot of seating area, but in the back of the cart is a large, like a big flatbed with a massive piece of machinery on it, and all around it are dwarves tending the machinery, having it stabilized with ropes and chains, and then you can see in the background multiple other of these large carts traversing the terrain. She turns to you, and she says, "Hi, Halberic. It's been a while since I've heard from you."
It is. Have I talked to her since I've been to hell?
Yeah, you guys had her build the mithril ball.
Oh, right. I say,
So
indeed
it's
has.
been a little bit over a week.
And say, indeed it has. A lot can change in a week, apparently. And I smile at her as she at her new position.
We've, aye, ever since the summit meeting, the dwarves decided to gather together and participate in the battle. Yes, and my people elected me Sigma Prima. Yes, it is a daunting task, but I've done everything I can. We've just set out yesterday. Our caravan is moving quickly. It's quite an innovation of dwarven engineering, but we plan to be able to make it to Mistrala by the guaranteed the set upon gathering date. And what's more, this is very exciting news, Albrecht. We're meeting up with some survivors from Cragland.
I tell her I did not know there were such people exist, but that is very good news to hear, and it brings warmth to my heart.
Aye,
And I also tell
to
her
mine
that
as well.
I tell her that I think there's no better person for the job of no better person for the job of Sigma Prima than her.
Much
Hey,
thanks,
bro, back
Albrecht.
off.
He says, "That, coming from you, that means a lot. I have to admit my confidence stirs a little bit. I'm a bit uneasy. I do not know that I can handle this mantle of authority. But I will endeavor to do my best."
I tell her of our concern about the dragons and about how Krigajard could possibly sense all their marching, and that it is a concern for us, and we don't want them to be attacked.
She pauses for a second. You can see concern coming over her face. "Oh dear. We had not been informed of that. Yes. Helbrick, I have behind me 25 large dwarven carriers, each bearing thousands and thousands of pounds of war machinery. And coming from Cragland, we have thousands of our kinsmen walking together in northern Ireland. It is, if we stop now, we will not make the agreed upon gathering time. But if we continue on," he says, "there's no possible way we can proceed quietly."
Yeah. Can I see behind her about how, like, the size of some of these weapons?
They're huge, and we're talking. So ballista, you know about, right? But in addition, they're bringing impervious crags, which are a dwarven concept. They're basically like massive battle tanks, that you drive into the middle of an opposing forces. They're spiked, they're heavily armored, but they carry inside their keep, it's about 50 troops, right? And they're to get them through harsh, even hostile terrain, and deploy them at a location quickly. And then they have these incredibly large catapults that are, or at least they're disassembled catapults, and they're designed to be quickly reassembled on site. But you can tell just from the pieces of them stacked, the sizes of the timber, and the iron bands that drive and hold everything together, and the unique dwarven design springs that power the 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 launching mechanism of these catapults. That these are larger catapults, larger engineered catapults than that really any that have been deployed in recent wars across the land. They're massive, probably able to launch a payload near a mile away.
Yeah, I tell her that for now, with you guys still so close, still within the borders of Hasselin, and I don't think you've caught his attention, but just I want you to be careful as we come up with possible solutions to this. We will keep you updated, but if you feel any earth tremors or such, let us know right away.
Aye, we shall, she says. And I'll pray to the gods that the dragon does not does not notice us as we travel.
Now, I'm not really worried about the Dragonborns because I don't like them very much. I'm just kidding.
I have one thing of note.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, say we concoct some way to get everybody into Mistrala without attracting his attention. That's what, 70,000 troops? As soon as they march out of Mistrala,
If
they're
not
going to.
more.
If not more. So as soon as they march
Yeah,
out,
you guys have
they're
no
gonna-
idea what the elves and the Goliaths and the Dragonborn are deploying.
Right. So, at a minimum, about 70,000 troops are going to march out of Mistrala. That's going to attract his attention. And I remember some old white person saying once, more often than not, the simplest solution is the right one. So why don't we just go kill this fucker? Because if he attacks in the middle of us attacking the demons, every one of those people in that army are going to get destroyed.
Well, no. When we're attacking the demons, we're going. The plan is for Biffin to be distracting Tiamat and the rest of the dragons while we assassinate the succubus bitch, and I guess everyone else is just going to be attacking all the demon hordes.
Yeah, they got to get to the demon hordes first.
Yeah, no, I'm starting to think that attacking them head on, but I don't. You don't have to worry about the dragons attacking the. At least I don't think we have to worry about the dragons attacking the armies. If once we actually get to the siege.
Yeah, but if Biffin doesn't do his thing until the armies are there to attack, they're going to get massacred before they get there if what's-his-face shows up.
So here's what I'm thinking, I'm thinking we actually did a decent job of beating up on Praktinic. We have a small inkling of his power with us in the form of Adis. I'm thinking between our party, Adis as Praktinic, Quigley, and Kildrak and Euphemia, we might be able to take on Krigajard.
And I have a question for Midas.
Yep.
So, Simulacrum, if I use it on myself, makes a copy of me. Would my copy be able to transform into him?
No. It's limited to you.
It's worth a try.
Likewise, your copy can't cast True Polymorph. You're the only one who has the boon of Beffinzor on you.
Okay.
So you guys know that along on the relative power level of the dragons, Nebularis was of course the strongest. Underneath him was Zerobor, and then Teofensia, then Krigajard, then Praktinic, then Mirix, and then Shaylin. That was the relative power order of them.
So, Kurgajard was one above Praktinic?
Yeah.
I don't know. What do you guys think about that party versus Krieg?
I mean, as long as at the end, like, I get a piece of Krigashar, like, I prefer, like, obviously save him.
You're gonna need a piece of Krigajard because you're gonna need to revive him.
Somehow, we'll figure
We're
a way.
gonna revive everyone except for Praktinic.
I'm down.
Do you think there's anyone else we can call on that would really be of any help?
You're that dude with the guns that wants to kill you all?
What was his deal with us? We can call on him anytime. Is it just a one-time call?
He wants to kill dragons.
Oh, we just have to, just contact them.
But I'm just
That's what
wondering
we
if
want.
we call him now, do we use up our call? Because I'd rather have him against the succubus.
Sure, he'd come.
If he comes and helps us kill Krigajar, we might have Krigajar for dealing with the succubus.
He wanted to get Shaylin back. And he
Yeah.
knows that to do that, he needs to break Tiamat's hold on the dragons. His goal was to go and kill Tiamat.
Which, getting Krigajar out of the way helps get us to his goal, so I don't see why he would have any objection.
No, I'm just wondering, because the deal we made with him, I'm trying to remember, was it a one-time use deal? Because he has no loyalty to us whatsoever. As soon
You
as
guys
we
didn't
call upon him,
mention
it's one
that.
time.
No, I think his thing was he's gonna keep helping us as long as it's in his interest.
Yeah, but if we give him any reason to believe we lied to him, he'll just kill us all.
So he's
Okay,
definitely a
so
good guy.
if we add, well, I can't even remember his name right now.
Antares
What's
Saber.
his name? Antares. If we add Antares to that list, I actually like our chances a lot.
Me too,
Also-
especially since he's half possessed by a demon.
Shoot,
A
I forgot his
lot, a
first name,
lot.
but Bright Lord's kid, the paladin.
Darius.
He's powerful, but I don't think he's just level 20.
Oh,
He doesn't
yeah,
have
I
any
don't know if he
boons
got
or
any
anything.
stronger.
And he didn't have a legacy weapon, right?
Yeah, he's leading the army from Hasselin.
Hey, Deimos.
Hmm.
If you couldn't die for 10 minutes, how much damage you think you could do to Krieg?
Albert would do more.
Okay, Albrecht, if you couldn't die for 10 minutes, what do you think you could do to a rock?
It would not be good. I'll tell you that.
As long as I can move 15 feet in a straight line towards him, a whole hell of a lot.
Alrighty. We need 1,500 gold in...
Dude, that's easy.
1,500 gold in ruby dust. Powdered ruby. And I'll make a simulacrum, and then I can make you and Deimos invulnerable for 10 minutes in the fight.
Is it invulnerable or like the invulnerable?
It's you take 0 damage.
Oh,
It's
that
you
one.
get
Oh.
hit by a planet and it doesn't do anything to you.
Yeah, so I'm going to give Euphemia a call and ask to speak to the more pleasant of the two and talk to Killjack.
Okay. What do you want?
We're gonna need some of that divine power again. The last remaining armies of humanity and all other kinds are on the move, and we're gonna guess Krigajar's gonna be able to sense them moving, so we just want to take him head on, and we're gathering a force to take him head on, and the more the merrier.
And I suppose you want my help, right?
And Killjack.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you see, he's kind of making me a sword right now.
He's also level 1 god, and that's gonna be really useful against Krigajar.
Yeah, but he can't help you with a dragon while he's making me a sword at the same time. You kind of see my dilemma?
I don't even know how to appeal because she doesn't have a sense of honor or even like a sense of money.
That's what
All
happens.
she cares
when you
about
guys
magic
spend your
items.
life
And I've got
pissing off
nothing
women.
for her.
But do you think
The thing
Krigashar?
about it is if he can't make your sword if the entire world is gone.
But I'd still have my sword when he was done, right?
But you wouldn't be able to use it. Isn't that the kind of the point of the sword?
Or I could just, hold on to it because I think it was really nice. And kill that bitch of a god, Lolth.
Is that what
Well.
her entire purpose is, anyways? You can't kill her if you're dead.
Well, I'm not going to be attacking any dragons anytime soon.
I think if they win, they're not going to care about whether you're attacking them or not. They're probably just going to kill you.
Tell you what. We just tracked down the last ingredient for my sword. Kildrak told me it'd take, just a week to put my sword together. As soon as we do that, he and I will be able to take on quite a whole lot. And then I'll help you with your stupid dragons.
Where's the ingredient?
Fair enough.
What if we go get it for you? Will it still take a
No,
week?
no, they
No,
have
we've got it.
They-
He's making the sword.
Oh.
It'll take them a week to make the sword. Fair enough.
So shall we go get your horn while we wait?
I hang up on her and I say goodbye and I hang up on her. A week.
That's plenty of
Looking
time to
at
get
our
a
map
horn.
of the continent, how far do I think the dwarves are going to make it in a week?
In a week, they'll make it halfway to Erlen.
Halfway.
And the ones from Cragland will have entered the border of Erlen and be well on their way. 2 weeks to the gathering place. 2 weeks from there to Mistrala.
And the Taswanians were saying they were leaving in a week, right?
Yep. They're traveling on
Great.
foot, so the dwarves are at the benefit of being on in a large wheeled caravan, so they can move faster.
Yeah. I suppose I'll give the leader of the Dragonborns a quick call. Unless, Adis, you want to say something first.
Oh, I was just going to mention to you, Albrecht, that I just had a grand idea for dealing with Krigashard since we have to wait on a week for the woman who wants to kill you.
She actually doesn't want to kill us.
An
does.
army of
It's okay.
marching, a marching army of mage-killing douchebags makes a tempting target for Krigashard. We could just follow along and wait for them to devour their asses, and then we can bring him up and kick his ass.
Yeah, but I like more numbers against the people in Rapnesh, so I don't want them to die.
You don't necessarily have to let them die, I suppose.
No, I think it's just better if we just bring Krigashard out into some random plane in Osnesh or something like that.
If you want.
Yeah, I'll give whatever his face is, the Dragonborn, a call.
Okay.
Do you know his phone number?
Yeah, he has a sending stone, I presume. I think we gave one to. Yeah,
He did
So you guys
because he was told to a long time ago. He was told to honor your word by Nebularos, but that was before you got them captured by Tiamat. What
So he's
do
not
you want, dwarf?
We were just curious about how you plan to get to Mistrala from where you are. We're trying to make some logistical plans regarding Krigashard.
He says, "You see, we Dragonborn are a bit craftier than the humans and their stupidity. We've already embarked. We're taking a tributary through Galaberum. to hit the Triton deep aboard these vessels of our own design. We plan to land in Rapnesh, close to the border mountains. And there I've word from Thane Zvorik that he'll give me safe passage through the mountains. We will not gather in Mishra. Stupidity. Putting all your eggs in one basket. No, we'll assault Kent ourselves. When the opportunity to strike is ripe, of course.
I give him a thumbs up. I bid him farewell, and I hang up the phone.
And I
That
just
problem's taken care of.
And I just sarcastically cough.
They have their own plan. They are in no danger of of attacking Krieger's attention, and so I'm going to let them do their thing. If you guys have no problem with that, I don't think we need to worry about the Dragonborn.
I don't either. They're the smartest army we have.
So far, I am going to give the 17th century Englishman that we met a call as well.
Which guy?
The Oscarian. I was making an Elwin joke.
The elf?
The elf, yeah.
Isn't he the one who pissed off?
I honestly don't remember that episode, so possibly.
General
if I did piss him off.
Cornwallis.
Did I piss him off? I don't remember.
I remember you guys telling me he wasn't all too friendly to you guys.
Well, that's just high elf. That's just high elf bullshittery. So.
Yeah, true. They've always been that way.
What do you want, dwarf?
We are just curious about how you plan to move your troops to Mistrala or to attack Kant. We are worried about large armies marching across open land as Krigajar is an earth dragon and can probably sense you.
Well, I would not attribute even basic intelligence to one of your sort. But this level of stupidity it astounds even me, and I am not easily astounded. Know you nothing of the High Elves.
Listen here, bad guy from the movie The Patriot, starring Mel Gibson. He's just asking what your plan is.
He says, "You are a wood elf. Of course you are. High elves do not march."
Oh, that's right. They scurry around on the ground. He can't.
High elves do not sully ourselves, walking upon the mortal soil. Do you think our sky cities are up there for nothing?
They have sky cities?
And sky ships.
I did not know there such things existed.
We are already forming our armada, our skyborn armada, headed by the massive imperial vessel, the Iskelio itself. King Lothrelian, he of the Blessed Ones, will be aboard that capital vessel and lead our armada into Rapnesh. The entire might of Ascaria will launch. Upon the agreed upon due date, you will see heaven's wrath fall upon the demon kind. We, High Elves, keep our word. We've arranged all of our aerial bowmen, our winged rangers, and even our most elite sun wraiths. They will know the might of the High Elves.
That's actually a good plan, Paul Revere.
Yeah.
I'm glad you approve of it, little wood elf.
I'm glad to see that the High Elves are still as big a douchebags now as they were 200 years ago.
I will hang up the phone on that note.
I'm like 200 years isn't that long for a high elf, is it?
No, not really. This dude was probably still kicking when I was a kid.
So, I do hang up the phone, whether or not he can hear Adis.
No, I
Not
think
worrying
it's
about
only the
them
person
either.
holding the stone that
So,
can actually communicate.
so what it sounds like, or if they can't hear Adis, I'll whatever thank him and say goodbye and hang up. I have all the information I need.
You should send him a dick pic so he gets jealous.
Can sending send a picture?
These are special sending. These are
No. I'm talking about the spell. I have to check that. I don't know the guy, so I couldn't do it.
I rediscussing with our group. I think so. What it sounds like to me is that the only reason that the Taswanians, the dwarves, and the Hasselins are gathering in Mistrala is because the Hasselins that's where they know that teleportation circles exist. And so they can get their troops there quickly, relatively speaking, because of that. So that's where they told everyone else who is marching to meet. So I don't think that we can really have them meet up at another place. So we're kind of. I think our best bet is to. I'm thinking that
It feels
our
like it's
best
gonna
bet
wind up.
our best bet is to just sit with the dwarves themselves and hope Krigajar doesn't show up for a week. Otherwise,
It feels like this is what they're planning on the map.
well, let it be known that Tyrell thinks the Dragonborn are with him. He doesn't know they're off doing their own thing.
Yeah, no, I'm saying based off your communications just now, that appears what's going to wind up happening. The elves aren't going there; they're just going to attack when they're supposed to.
Yep. No, that's what I'm getting. So I think the how the people from Hasselin have to go to Mistrala because that's where the teleportation circles are. I think that the Taswanians should meet them there because that's close enough and they can just get there real quick.
And I think a week. How long is it going to take them to get from Taswan to Mistrala? Probably about a week and a half.
Yeah, 2 weeks maybe.
Yeah, so a week's about as long as we can wait because he's sending 50,000 troops. There's going to be over 10,000 troops there in a week. So we're going to have to deal with Krieg before they start drawing attention.
Mm-hmm. I wish we could just postpone everything a week. Well, mainly postpone Tyrell. Or do you think we need to postpone the dwarfs a week as well?
No, I don't think we need to postpone. I just think we can't wait longer than a week to go deal with Krieg.
Okay.
Maybe 9 to 10 days. But
well, I think a week unless Biffin comes sooner, which at that point I think we take Krigajar on right away.
Right.
There is one. Otherwise, I think because I trust Killjack to have that sword done within a week.
Yeah.
Maybe even sooner.
There is one other option we could do now, if you guys are feeling gamey.
Hit me with it.
We could try gating the demon bitch and kill her ass.
Nah.
We gotta kill her anyway.
Yeah, but
we kill her, Tiamat's free.
No, is she?
Yeah.
Is Tiamat under the succubus's control, Midas?
Yeah, that's why the dragon dude's gonna distract Tiamat and the other dragons while we kill her. But if we just
the dragon dude's gonna.
Tiamat is under Asmodeus' control, but she follows Malconthet's orders.
Is it
because
mind control or as in?
Yeah, it's complete domination.
Okay. Yeah, so if we kill the if we kill the succubus bitch, we still have to deal with Tiamat. It's
Well, what-
Asmodeus' mind control.
Well, what's his big dragon snake dude? His whole plan was to attack Tiamat and us kill the demon bitch anyway. So
Yeah, kill the demon bitch more just to get rid of the demon bitch, not to free the dragon queen. He was gonna. He knows we can't take. He knows we can't take on Tiamat. And if we try to take on the dragons one-on-one, at some point in time, they're just all gonna come after us, and then we're dead. So I think that's the
right.
reason why.
So why not kill the person giving them orders? Because she may be under Asmodeus' control, but the succubus is the one giving Tiamat the orders to give to the dragons. If we take her out, we could put the dragons in disarray. Because Asmodeus is busy upstairs. Then we may not.
I mean, I
need
think it doesn't make a difference either way.
Yeah, it's just an option I was throwing out there.
Yeah.
Oh, I like that option. I think it's a really good option. The only thing I'm thinking about is how do we get to her without getting?
We
He's
don't.
saying
We
gate.
gate her. We gate her.
Oh, oh yeah.
But
I mean,
at that point, she also may be just as powerful, if not more powerful, than the dragons themselves, and just go away and not even bother with us.
Well, I could prepare a containment for her.
At that point, we might as well just wait for Biffin and Container when we get to Quance or Cance.
True, but fighting her
Because then you'll
without
have
her-
more spell slots.
True. Fighting her without her minions would be beneficial too. You really want to fight her inside that dome?
Oh, I don't think the armies will be fighting her. They'll be fighting the demon horde around.
No, I'm saying us personally. Do we want to fight her on her own turf? Is what I mean.
now, do we
I think
we
either
can-
way,
Do you think we can?
I would rather fight her on her own turf with you at full spell slots than try to do some crazy plan to keep her contained outside of Cance. Because I'd rather hit her with a meteor swarm than try to contain her.
No, I mean containing her as she can't leave while you guys beat her into the ground, not contain her as like a prison. I have summoned a few demons in my life.
Yeah, true.
So you guys would know that Malconthet is queen of the succubi, consort to Asmodeus, ruler of her own plane in the abyss.
Which level? Or the abyss, excuse me. That's not hell. Never mind.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
there's
she's-
level-
There's infinite.
level-
There's
there's-
infinite levels of the abyss.
There's 225 explored levels of the abyss.
Yeah.
So which
So
one
is,
is she
wait,
in?
is Asmodeus a demon or a devil?
Asmodeus is a
Devil.
devil. He's the devil.
Yeah.
Yeah,
devil.
and
Right,
he
right,
made
right.
he made his arch enemy his bitch.
That sounds about right there. And so, and we know Mephistopheles, the one that Antares made his deal with, is 8th level and hates Asmodeus guts, right?
Do we know
Yes.
why? Yes. Do we know why the demons joined the devils and fiends, or the devils?
You don't. But that's part of the mystery of what Asmodeus has done. He's united the Abyss and Beator, which is Hell, together, and their combined
who the-
forces are both under him. What?
Do we know who the de facto leader of the Abyss is right now?
Demigorgon?
Do we know where he is?
In heaven, killing gods with Asmodeus.
But
He's
why?
got the original party saw him in the original GodBreaking. He was one of the first ones to fly up into heaven and launch the assault on the heavens.
Interesting. But why?
You're getting too deep, man. You just gotta kill things. That's all you gotta do.
Well, we could go save a mage.
Who are you talking about?
Since we got a week. Our buddy who gave me my spiffy scroll.
Oh, I'm gonna do that after the God breaking.
He's probably considerably more powerful than I. Having him on our side.
You
could be
could
very
release him.
advantageous.
His body died a long time ago. He has to
Yeah,
be
you-
freed from his eternal
We'd
torment.
be,
His
we'd be
eternal.
sending them to hell,
um,
essentially.
Yeah,
We're not saving his body.
You could bring him back.
I'm thinking for the week we just go right,
Let's go kill a worm.
Oh, did someone
or
say
go kill a
purple worm?
Yeah, let's go kill a worm.
What? That's
a
crazy.
demon worm. You guys
That's
want to go kill the demon
insane.
worm?
Yeah, let's go kill the demon worm.
Do you think we could do it, Midas?
It's been years since you encountered that. That was way back when. That was like, you guys were like
That's when
level 11 in Borthol.
Yeah.
So you guys
That's
remember
when-
that it was the underground Grumman's Temple, deep in Borthol, in the jungles of Borthol. You stumbled across this place. You went underground, and it had broken. The magical barriers that the dwarven priests had erected, like 1,000 years ago, had broken. So you went in there. You secured Kildrax's Maul of Tremors. That's where you first encountered the aspects, the spirits of Zerebor and Mirix. But the Korgith, I think his name was, the entrapped ancient demon beneath there had broken free, had been resurrected. He was a being of incredible power.
Now, sorry not to interrupt, but do we know who sealed him? Was it like the demons who sealed him, or did mortals seal him, or
It was the dwarves.
the dwarves did? Okay, that's what I thought.
They
Sorry,
had
I
built
was-
basically built that whole temple just to seal him.
Okay.
And Balinar closed the temple as you guys left.
Yeah. I'm down for avenging Balinar. You guys want to go do that?
I mean, it sounds pretty cool, in my opinion. But I mean, whatever you guys want to do.
I think we could take him. Not, we can always teleport out of there. Just don't use your last 7th level Adis or Elwyn.
True that.
I don't think we can teleport there, can we?
We can't. Well, we can. If we open the gate, we can probably teleport out.
Isn't the seal gone?
Balinar fixed Balinar fixed the seal.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Essentially.
I think we just don't know how we're gonna get in there.
Well, if we plan to kill it, I might be able to do something about the seal.
Kildrak's hammer can open it.
Hey, there you go.
Kildrak's hammer was the
using
key.
his hand. Kildrak is using his hammer to forge a sword. Well, he probably actually wouldn't use his battle maul in smithing. I take that back.
I don't care. It's up to you guys. There's so many possibilities right now.
hmm You know,
Weren't we going to go check on what's going on in Chitanos? Let's do that.
In Waterdeep?
Yeah, in Waterdeep.
Oh, and then there's also the cat girls too. Don't forget about them.
Yeah.
You gonna
Doesn't
try to
like
get
the
this?
other-
Get
And
the.
wasn't there someone in Kujay we were supposed to find as well a long time ago?
I don't remember doing anything in Kudra.
You said like some bird king or something.
Oh, Arctos. Yeah. That's right.
I'm just trying to think of stuff to do for a week. Let's head to Chitanos and then
We could just party.
see what we can figure out about. Remember what we can about Erictos.
Okay.
Uber to Chitanos, please. I look at Elwyn.
We should go in the morning.
We should go in the morning. I take that back. Elwyn, morning.
Yeah, because I'm down 4 slots right now.
It's been a long day of deliberation and negotiation, that kind of stuff. I'll say you guys can settle for the night. They put you up in they're pretty sparse, pretty Spartan, pretty Spartan barracks within Sparthorn.
If you guys want, I have a mansion out here. If you don't want to sleep on stone.
Bare wood, straw. They give you basically raw meat to eat because that's what all natural-born warriors eat. Real
At the
warriors.
raw
don't-
meat, I go out to the mansion and
They
stay
don't.
there.
They don't waste their time cooking it. I mean, it's just.
I mean, I'm a warrior, but raw meat, I'm kind of like, nah. son.
You come into
At
a
that
bank.
point-
You come into a banquet.
I'm a dwarf. I can handle a lot of things in my gut, but I will turn my nose away at raw meat.
There's like a 50-gallon keg of ale for you.
Okay. Inside the magnificent mansion, you guys rest the night away. Okay. Following day, you're going. You arise. Are you going to Tritanos?
If our Uber will take us there.
Yeah. Owen Cass is going to teleport. You guys bid farewell to General Ralphel, and you teleport away to Tritanos.
I
Now-
also tell him the thing about if he feels any earth tremors while he's marching to call us immediately.
He says to you, "We warrior kind invite the presence of a foe worth fighting."
Would you still please call us?
Yeah, I like fighting. I want to get in that fight.
We relish the chance to fight him as well. So
Hey,
please
Albert.
call us.
He says,
Hey, Albert.
"We are hesitant to share our glory with you, but since you are allied, we will call, if convenient."
I mean, if not, it's totally cool. I mean, we are both kind of superior warriors.
Understood.
Okay, sounds good.
This one
Okay.
knows of our speak. Okay, you guys arrive in Tritanos. Now, when you get there, it's it's no longer the demolished and dilapidated city that you guys had encountered back when Whitebeard had infested the place. Back then, it was darkened. It was covered in shadow and shades, with wraiths all over the place and these weird aberrations. They're like their own like castings and leavings and stuff are all over the place. It was a nasty place before, with buildings torn down and ripped apart. It had been rebuilt. You can tell. The orcs and the humans had come back and rebuilt the city. Nowhere near its former glory, but a lot of the buildings had been renovated and that kind of stuff. But when you arrive, there's just like a skeleton crew remaining. Just a few survivors around, and you see deep scars across the land. Noticeably, the harbor itself is completely destroyed, completely like washed away, and everything about half a mile in from the seashore is looks like it had been wiped away by like a tidal wave or something like that. Past that point, the buildings remain, but a half a mile in from the sea coast is destroyed. A few of the remaining population is there, and they gasp as you teleport into a place. Like I said, it's a skeleton crew. Kind of young lady. She was present there at the time. She was carrying a basket full of various breads and that kind of thing, and she gasps as you arrive. Nearly on top of her, she like falls out of the way. Her bread rolls rolling across the concrete. You can tell that they're a little bit stale and hardened. She screams in surprise as you arrive. She says, "Please don't hurt me! Please don't hurt me!"
We're not here to hurt you. We're looking for Obeard.
The commandant. He has not been seen for several days. He says, she's obviously quite terrified of you guys. She says, Are you here to slay the rest of us, the ones that did not flee?
No, we are friends of Obeard, and we are slayers of dragons and protectors of all people.
She says, "My, that's news that's worth hearing." She stands up slowly. Now that you can catch a glimpse of her a little bit better, you can tell that she walks with a fairly noticeable limp in her right leg. She says, she picks up a couple of the rolls of bread. She says, "We survivors are not very brave. We could not withstand another assault. Most of our kind fled south. We'd heard that there was a haven for humanity far to the south. Ever since the seas themselves rose up against us, Years ago, we many of our seafaring folk have lost the stomach to be near the seashore. It was terrible. The waves themselves raged out at us, unnatural, ungodly, ripping apart our ships, tearing apart our sailors and our young men. We had just recently reestablished ourselves here, and had prided ourselves at the formation of a fledgling fleet again. But that was, she says, that was ill-conceived and short-lived. You can see that most of our city was destroyed in the ensuing tidal force from the sea.
That is unfortunate to hear. When was Obeard last seen?
Obeid stayed behind. He dedicated himself to caring for us, but would occasionally depart northwards. He's been in communication with other leaders, he says, around the nation, and says that there's hope yet. And he would take these departures for weeks at a time, and he would come back and he would send information on to other people about what he'd gathered far to the north. He recently left several days ago to I assume to gather more information. Apparently, something majorly important is at hand.
And you said he's gone for weeks at a time?
Yes.
I thank her, and I say, who's usually left in charge when he leaves?
We mostly fend for ourselves. Now that there are so few of us here, we're not worth attention of any of the dragons or the roaming beasts. We wouldn't be able to defend ourselves much if we were confronted anyway.
Surely there must be some sort of ruling council or something?
Well, my mother and a few of the other elders, if we have any difficulties, they make the decisions, but it's not a formalized government of any kind.
Okay. I ask her if she can spare a moment because I need to discuss, but I might have a favor I need to ask her.
Of course.
I'm gonna turn to Adis. I'm gonna ask him if he can. Does he need to know the person for scrying, or can he just know the name?
If you tell me of them, describe them in intimate detail, I can try, but it's not a guaranteed success.
I'm gonna describe Obeard as best I can, and I want him to attempt to scry.
Okay. And when you get done asking that, I'm just gonna be like, yeah. So you still not like my plan with the mage killers?
Oh. If I told them that if they were attacked to call us, so that's the plan I've got right there for them.
Let's see here, where is scrying? There it is. So for scrying, second hand, if I've heard of the target, so as long as he doesn't resist it, it's not going to be terribly hard, but since he won't know who's doing it, he probably will, so I can try.
Okay.
So it'll take me about 10 minutes. Make sure nobody fucks with me, please.
I got that.
Okay. Again, you sit yourself down on the ground and you begin conjuring the elements of the spell. 10 minutes go by slowly, but you're able to formulate it together. And as you cast the spell, your vision is reflected in the glass mirror on the ground in front of you, and instead of directly northward, it's more of a northeastern direction on the map, kind of like this. And your vision centers right around, here, near the border of Waterdeep and Ostnesh. And you see Obeard sitting in the shade of well, not in the shade, near a rock outcropping. A horse in the near distance. His horse it's tied up to another, to a tree or a bush, a large bush in the area. And you see Obeard with what looks like some kind of magical device, like a divining rod or something like that, standing over a pile of rocks, just focusing on something. Right? And he pauses, and without even looking at the glowing orb that the scry spell derives its vision from, that's would be present near him if he could see into the ethereal, or at least in the invisible realm. He says, "I know you're watching me. What do you want?"
Well, if he knows that I'm watching him through a scrying spell, he knows I can't respond. So,
You might be wondering
is there
why
a
I would
tree
ask you
near
a
him?
question. What?
Is there a tree near him?
Yeah, his horse is tied to one.
I'm gonna focus on that tree.
Okay.
I'm just ignoring him. I'm just focusing on the tree, every aspect of the tree, every minute detail of just taking in everything about the tree.
Okay.
And then I drop the scrying spell.
Okay.
Alright, I can take us to him.
Yeah, if he doesn't look like he's in any danger, if he's not trying to sneak.
No, it looks like he's playing scry. He looks like he was doing scrying himself.
Okay, I will then thank the woman and say that the favor is not needed, and that I wish her and her people well, and tell her that you are in good hands with Obeard. He is a dear friend.
She nods at you, and she quickly moves along her way.
Alright,
And
I'll
I
teleport
call my other Uber driver and have him take me where he.
I will teleport us all to the tree.
You guys arrive, and you see Obeard there, a little bit expectantly, waiting there, off in one hand holding the strange magical device. Like I said, it's some sort of divining rod. He says to you, "I'd heard you guys had reappeared. Was wondering when you'd stick your nose in the matters at hand again. Can't say it's unwelcome, though. These are pretty fucked up times."
I'll greet him in traditional dwarven fashion and say, "Indeed, they are. But it looks like we've come back just in time to hopefully do some good."
King Tyrell keeps me informed of everything that's going on. I know about the armies. I know about the gathering. He shakes his head. He says, "The dragon, the one underground, is probably the most dangerous one around here. I'm trying to track him, trying to figure out where he's going, what he's doing. It's a little hard, but I think I have an understanding."
Well, that is very good news. Can you? Because what our concern is, because the armies are on the move, so our concern is that he will sense the heavy marching of the armies and attack them. If you can track him and warn us when he's getting close to certain armies, we might be able to do some things to keep him away from them. And that would actually be of great help to us.
He says, "I don't have it down precisely yet, but I can tell you general patterns of his movement." He says, I've been venturing out, and every time I've heard of some disruption or some large earthquake or seismic event. I've come to the area, and I've got his basic essence, his aura, programmed or coded into this divining rod. Ever since Mistrala was destroyed, which I did hear of, Kriegashard has been roaming these northern plains, but not just back and forth. He's circling, and his circle is expanding. He's not here now, but he passed by here deep underground within the last 24 hours.
Do you know how deep?
He says. He moves fast. Beneath the surface of the earth, he can move very quickly. His depth is hard to determine, but when he's deeper, it's harder. It's hard to pick up. So from here, with the strength of signal that I'm receiving, he says, within 1,000 feet underground.
Okay.
I tell him that Mistrala was not fully destroyed. We actually saved it, and we believe that its inhabitants are contained within a modified imprisonment spell deep beneath the earth. And we did it in such a way that Krigazard was not able to track it.
It's clever thinking. Well done. How are they going to get out?
That's work in progress.
I see.
We've also killed Shaylin and Praktinic. Right now we're waiting on the 8th Dragon Lord to finish recharging himself before we make a move on the Succubus and Tiamat.
Understood. Well,
I say to him that I'll give him a sending stone and tell him if he senses any major deviation in Krigazard's movement, specifically towards the south where the dwarves are, that he should contact us immediately so that way we can get to them.
On our map, can you show us how big his circle is last time you had a fix on it?
he says, my best guess. So you guys are at the tip of the arrow right now, right? My best guess is that he's moving like this. Do you see that arc that I just drew?
Yeah.
In that direction.
I can't. Oh, there it goes. Okay.
So he passed through,
Alright.
he arced through here recently within the last 24 hours.
And he's circling and it's getting larger.
Mhm.
He could be searching
for
for
them.
Mistrala.
For the moment, it might be okay.
Yeah, if you could, I'd say if you could let us know if he makes any deviation.
If he goes deep and stays deep, let us know.
And
Like
that too.
really deep.
He agrees, he nods his head. He says, I hope you can figure out a way to deal with him. He's taken out entire cities, entire nations, without ever showing himself,
If he had
just by
come
staying
out of
underground.
hiding, we would be happy to stomp his face in if he would stop hiding.
Hard
And
to
we
kill
had
what you
a
can't
little-
see.
Yeah,
No
and we had a
shit.
little bit more power.
Yeah, I think we're fine.
I mean, our party of 6, no. With the other people, yeah, I feel confident.
Yeah, we got a week to wait.
Yeah, I do tell him about our plan to engage him in a week's time once one of our party members gets a super weapon.
Yeah, if we hit you up in 5 days, do you think you could have a rough calculation on where he'll be 2 days from then?
I can do my best.
Or 3 days from then, sorry.
I'll do
Yeah.
my best.
Alright, thank you.
Okay, we're off to Kudre. What do we remember about the Bird King?
All you know was that he was well, this was before the departure. This was even before you guys.
Like back when Telephos first came back to Mistrala.
Yeah, this was way back. Yeah, this was back then before you guys fought Gromash. He was one of the potential allies that you could call upon back then, along with some other creatures. One of them would being Thane's Vorik, but he was king of the, what are those birds called?
Eric Cochran.
Yeah, Eric Cochran. High in the mountaintop nest city that they have in Kudra. That's basically all you knew. You never reached out to him. You never contacted him. You never even really tried.
Well, I'd like to try now. What do we think the fastest way to get there is? To Kudra.
You could teleport, but you guys have literally never been there before. You don't know anyone there. You'd be teleporting in blind.
How far
Teleporting to
east?
where?
Kudra. How far east of Hasselnet? Have we ever been to Corland?
No, you've never been to Corland.
Wait.
And the only place in Azoa we've been is Mount Jakaris, right?
Yes.
Can I make some sort of roll to see if I have ever been there before I went to hell?
Sure. It'd be pretty high. It's not a land where humans usually venture. Yeah, no, you never have. You never have been there.
Okay. That was something I never put in my history, so.
Yeah.
So it's Kudra is where we need to go?
Yeah. Does anyone have any knowledge of any teleportation circles in Kudra? And since we're still with Obeard, I'm going to ask him that as well.
He says, Kudra, why would you want to go to that godforsaken place?
The Bird King, we're looking for more allies because we got nothing to do for a week.
Roll a d20.
Could go kill a worm.
Nope. I'm
He
saying nope
says-
to the roll, not to killing a worm.
He says, the Aarakocra. They were a formidable presence in years past. But a lot has changed in the past years. Ever since the dragons took the skies. Since Rectinic terrorized the air. He says, a lot of the aerial races have fled. I'm not sure about the Aarakocra themselves or King Arctos himself. But if he's like any of the others, he's flown far south by now.
Damos.
What? Sorry.
Yeah, so why are you not jumping on this kill the worm gravy train? Like, seriously, what's wrong, man? Thought you were big tough warrior. Kill everything.
Sorry. I was looking at a different thing. I was very
You were
distracted.
looking at your prawn.
What?
You were looking at your prawn collection, weren't you?
My what collection?
A prawn collection is a book
What's
of of pictures of all the women that hate you.
Gay prawn.
It's like a
Gay
drum.
prawn.
Oh, I don't know what that is. I mean, if you have one, that's cool. But I don't have one of those.
Well,
books,
unlike
bro.
you, every woman I've ever met doesn't hate me, so I don't need a collection like that.
No woman actually knows
Oh, I actually know a lot of females.
you. Okay.
And they happen to
Yeah,
be
of course you do.
extremely
Hey, it's
powerful.
okay. I'm not judging. I'm gonna believe you. Hey guys, this guy knows a lot
Dude,
of females. Like
dude, you have not
20
had,
billion of them.
Dude, you
Huh?
haven't had pussy till you've had a demons. You can ask your buddy. You can
I
ask your
just-
Didn't
buddy.
I just say it was a very lonely time in hell for you?
Yeah,
Yeah, but you guys don't.
Hey,
you
guys,
don't
he
know
got
that.
laid on a daily basis. Like he's
Hey.
literally Pepin's spirit animal. Trust me on this one,
Just,
guys. Okay.
just ask Pippin what it's
Yeah,
like
ask
to have
Pepin.
demons.
He totally get it all the time, 24/7.
Exactly.
In hell,
You
it's
ain't-
probably been more than 24/7. He's like hasted
Once you-
himself. I don't know how it works.
Once you go devil, you don't ever go back.
Yeah. We'll go with that. It's okay, bro. And I'm gonna give you a Snickers bar.
You want to be a woman again, Deimos?
I mean, I don't really. It's 2018, and I don't really do this gender thing. But I mean,
Why
if you
can
like
you not
that,
have
you
a
wanna-
gender you want?
no, it's cool, bro.
I
Alright,
interrupt this regularly scheduled appointment to continue discussing tactics. I know it's a long shot, but based off a name, can you scry somebody, Adis?
Yes.
Can you attempt it, please?
I will on one condition.
Sure.
Once we're done scrying, we go kill the fucking worm.
I'm fine with that.
Alright.
Sure.
Deal.
As I cross my fingers behind my back.
Insight check. Let's see here. What is it for?
Wisdom.
What is it? No, I was looking for the spell. It's 5th level for scrying. Let's see here.
Who are you scrying?
The king.
Lord Octeris, the Birdman.
Arctos?
What? I gotta look to see if that actually counts before I cast it, though. So give me 1 second here. Scrying. Second hand, you've heard of the target. So if he resists, he gets a +5.
What's your
The
DC?
difficult or 25.
25. He gets a +5 plus his wisdom. He's pretty wise.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
I mean, it may not
typically
work,
are.
but I will spend the 10 minutes to cast it.
Oh.
Nope.
All right. You do get a vision, a brief vision of a large flock of Aarakocra gathered at a mountaintop, mountain range. Pretty rudimentary, as in the essence. It looks like they're rebuilding nests, rebuilding their aerial homes. Just your general knowledge of geography. This is far to the south. This is like in the southern hemisphere of this world.
So not on our map.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's basically in South America if you're in North America.
Yeah, so
Well,
they're useless.
You get your wish. Let's go kill a worm.
So whenever I'm done scrying, I'm like, yeah, I didn't get nothing. No, I'm just kidding. They're way super far south. The probability they could get here in time is low without magic.
Fair enough. Now I do have one more person.
Did I get a sense of how many there were as the vision was coming in?
You saw a race of birds. You figure thousands.
Okay. I will focus on. Is there any kind of platform big enough for 6 people on it?
Adis, if they're far to the south, we don't even need to speak to them.
Yeah, we could still talk to them. If they manage to get away from a fucking dragon, they may be able. May have means. I just want to commit to memory a bush that's somewhere where we could all land with a teleport.
If we need to go, yeah.
Yeah.
Visible, like I said, mountain peaks. They're building nests into the side of cliffs. You can see a particular cliff face that you think. But as far as purchases that would fit 6 people, not in your limited scope of vision.
What about, is the king wearing like a necklace? Or jewelry of any kind?
Let me see here.
Do you have a picture of him? Because we actually have never seen him.
Yes.
And I'm curious to see what picture you come up with for an Aarakocra, because your pictures are amazing, man.
Just Arctos. That's him. I've had this picture since session 75.
I didn't get it.
Yeah, neither did I.
Wow.
Oh, okay. That's actually a decent picture of an Aarakocra. I like that.
Some sort of object on his person, so I will commit to memory.
Okay.
So I can teleport to the location of any object. And we'll just hope he's not flying when we do it.
Okay. You focus
we
on
we could always cast that wing spell on us before we do.
Well, I
his
have a
belt.
magic carpet, so yeah, I'll commit his specific belt to memory. All right. So off to your temple we go. Hi ho, hi ho, hi ho.
No, I have one more person that I remember from our time before.
Mhm.
It was the Fey lady in this world, if I remember correctly. She was of some sort of Fey origin.
Oh, you're stretching way back. 1 second here.
And also,
Well, I remember there was a whole list of them, and King Lothlorien was one. The guy from the Border Mountains was another. King Erectos was one more. And
do
then
we want to go talk to Deimos's were-girlfriend? From that scrying I saw, they look like they could be some vicious allies.
Yeah, but the problem is they're very, very small in numbers, and they're like almost
Yeah, for us, not for the army. For Kriggy.
But again, they're almost extinct, so they really don't want to commit troops that they could possibly.
So's everybody. This is an all or nothing fight, bro. If we lose, everybody's dead. It won't matter who's left if we lose. And I was more speaking to his girlfriend and maybe a couple of her friends, not like all of them. She seemed like a badass.
So it was Queen Taliza of the Fairies, also in
Yeah.
Kudra, but in the southern part, in the overgrown jungle lands. So you're going to try to reach out to her?
I'm gonna ask O'Beard what he knows about her first, and then again give Mr. Adis over here the name.
That'd be my last 5th level slot.
You do realize you can cast Scrying as a ritual, can't you?
No, you cannot.
We'll give you a rest before we go face the worm, but if
Alright.
you don't mind.
That's fine. I just wanted to let you guys.
Yeah, I'll ask O'Beard first real quick.
He says, not much news from that side of the world. If she's a fairy, much like Fae, they're flighty and fickle creatures. Deep ties to the land. I wouldn't know much more than that. All I know, but I do know that this land has changed a bit in the last few years. I'm sure the fairies would have been keen on that and not very happy with it.
Yeah. Adis, if you don't mind. I don't actually know the name off the top of my head, so if you could
Taliza.
please.
What would you consider familiar with?
Scrying?
Just
Or
in
what?
general.
For which spell?
Sending.
Ascending spell.
Yeah, you send a short message, blah 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 blah, to a creature with which you are familiar.
Oh, definitely not someone you've never met before.
Okay. Alright, I will attempt to scry her.
Adis, you are one of my heroes. Definitely top 5, if not top 3.
What's your DC again?
25. She gets a +5.
She's a fairy. She's got to be. They're more charismatic than wise.
Yeah, she blew that away.
Yeah, no.
That spell didn't even work at all. It just.
Sorry about your 5th level spell slots, buddy.
Oh no, it's fine. Well, at least we know she's alive.
That too. Yeah.
Well,
You
actually, I
fa-
don't know. Would I now?
You as you send it out, not only does a spell fail, there's a bit of backlash against it. It's like
Jeez,
you
okay.
reached out and touched a consciousness, and there's a little of a snap back against you.
Yeah, I don't think she wants to be found, yo.
So we're talking, just like 4 points of psychic damage.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think she wants to be found, yo. Either that or she's being protected by something.
Fair enough. If you want to get your long rest, let's go kill us a demon worm.
Shwigity.
The problem is opening the seal. That's the only thing I can think of the problem.
I might be able to help with that, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah. But we'll
Uber.
definitely take a long rest first, just because I didn't realize you were actually spending spell slots for that, Adis.
Oh
I'm
yeah.
used to Elwin with his scrying orb that he used to have, and he could just scry whenever he wanted.
You know, I should check to see if the staff can use scrying.
But anyways, Elwin, I presume you remember the place where you met the temple where we lost Balinor pretty well. We're pretty close
Yep.
to them, weren't you?
We need the hammer though to get in.
Yeah.
I might be able to help with that.
Let's go there first and see if Adis can come up with something.
I got 2 ideas.
Otherwise, I think I don't want to take Kildrak's hammer away from him.
All right. So you guys are gonna rest that night.
6
I'm
to
assuming we
8.
probably would have tried to get closer, like teleport closer to it, then rest. So Owen has that spell slot.
Oh, true. Yeah, let's rest when we get there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can we
That
do that, Midas? We'll build.
Yes.
I bid Obeard farewell, and I make sure to give him a sending stone.
All right, Elwin, you teleport back to the deep underground cavern. That it's been a while. It's been years since you've been there, but it's still fresh within your memory. This location. So you guys find yourselves in a widened corridor, adjacent to a large white stone doorway, carved out of impeccable dwarven craftsmanship. There's no evidence of any seams in the stonework or anything like that, and it's heavy with ancient dwarven runic magic.
Woot woot.
So
So
you're
is
deep
that
underground.
thing like is that thing like right on the other side of the door or what?
The door was like as we were shutting the door, Balinar did whatever he did to shut the door, turned around, and literally ran into the giant gaping maw of this thing.
So
it was
it could
coming
be
towards us. Yeah.
So it could be on the other side of the door.
Yes.
Okay, then I guess
Otherwise,
we'll wait till morning then.
like it wants to break free of this cage essentially. So if we open the door, if it's not right there, it'll be on its way.
Is it intelligent?
It was like a demon lord.
Oh yeah, it's probably smarter than all of us.
Does it like Asmodeus?
I have no
Well,
idea. You
no
can
idea.
ask him.
We
I
should
just
ask
heard-
it before. We should ask it before we kill it.
You can do that, bud.
Okay.
Midas, do you have to sell the picture? Because I remember the picture being particularly disgusting.
Yes.
You describe it and you create an illusion of it to show us.
Yes, because the barbarian will be creating an illusion. No, I asked Daemon to draw one of his fabulous photos.
You guys
What
got
do
a
we draw?
glimpse of it before Balinar
Yeah,
shut
like
the
I
door.
draw like I take a piece of
Amos.
paper and I just kind of color it purple and put a few teeth on it.
Hey, Deimos, he said a picture of the worm, not your cock.
Oh, I actually changed that out, and then I whipped my dick out, put it on a piece of paper.
And I will illusion some teeth on it.
Ah! See, I'm doing 2 for 1 here. It's like the
No
worm,
wonder all
also
the-
it's my dick.
No wonder all the women hate you.
Ah!
Korgeth, Demon Lord of Worms.
Scary mother trucker, I'll tell you what. But he killed Balnar, and we're gonna get a motherfucking
I
revenge.
think Balinar. I'm thinking he's standing over the corpse when we open the door.
Actually, yeah, most likely.
Little did we know, as soon as we shut the door, he jumped to like level 25.
Okay, so you guys are underneath the ground. Are you you're taking a rest here?
Yep.
Yep. That's where we're
I
gonna
assume,
take
Adis, you're going to study the door a little bit, so you have the night to think about it.
Yeah, I'll spend the time before we go to sleep reading over the arcane energy of the door and such.
Okay. As you guys sleep that night, Adis, when you eventually drift off into your sleep, your sleep is fitful. You twist and turn. It's almost as if something was disturbing you, impressing itself upon you. And then all of a sudden, in a start, you gasp and you sit up and you open your eyes and you see all around you. Your friends are sleeping, but you look down and you also see yourself sleeping. It's a weird detachment as you look down at your own body on the ground. You're just kind of semi floating above it, and in the wall of the cavern, you see a pretty disembodied, fairly large head appear before you, and you hear a voice kind of echo through your mind. Why did you reach out to me, mortal man?
Wait, is this the lady I scryed on?
Queen of the Fairies.
Oh. I'll say because Elwyn, fire god from this wherever, asked me to.
I don't know such a creature.
Wait, don't you?
No, we've never met before. She was someone we were supposed to reach out to for a possible ally.
Her
Oh,
eyes
nice.
are large and piercing straight into you. She says, "We do not take kindly to intrusions, especially upon our minds."
Oh, my apologies. My friends were looking for allies in the coming fight. Meant no disrespect.
Fight. To fight with a mortal man. Ugh.
You don't have to. We just figured that you might have some concern with, the world you live in not being destroyed.
What gift do you have for me?
What gift would you like?
I like gifts. I like precious gifts. And since I've taken my time and all this effort to come here, to look into your slumber, to see into your mind, I think I'm deserving of a gift.
Midas, would I know what kind of things fairies like?
You, as a player, know as much about your fairies as your character would.
Okay. In this world, what is their alignment? What is the typical alignment disposition of fairies?
Oh, all kinds of chaotic. Various brands of it.
Okay. I ask her, but are they generally good, or?
They're closer to forces of nature than taking allegiances. They go along with their own whims and their own fancies. If it's in their best interest, they'll do good. If not, then they'll do what they consider to be best.
Whatever the hell they want, right? Cause see me, I'm like I have like the smallest inventory. How about a book?
Boring. Words and paper. Not exciting at all. I want something thrilling. I want something
Oh, this is thrilling.
tasteful.
Oh, I don't know about it being tasteful. Do you like shiny things?
Hey, I nudge you. I'm like, hey, you should let go.
You're asleep.
How about a 220-year-old virgin? yeah, I got you, guy. I got you. I'm really good at this game. I give like the biggest.
220 version.
I like wink and I do like the biggest smile. I go do like the double finger guns. I'm like, pew, 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 pew. I got you, girl. Super good. Trust me.
You're good thing he's
Ooh,
asleep.
I have. How would you like to see a dragon?
He's talking about his dick. Oh.
She scowls at you. Her eyes turn into sharp angled. The color of her eyes actually changes colors. It flashes a dark orange. And she says, "Dragons, you dare threaten me with dragons?
No, not at all.
Those creatures that terrorize nature,
Yeah, no, I just killed one
that
like 3
burn
days ago.
the earth with their kind.
Yeah, no, I just killed one
Dragons."
like 3 days ago.
As he's talking, I'm slowly taking a few pieces off my armor, which are dragons, like the dead dragons, and sticking them
You
on
can't.
him.
I've been disembodied.
It doesn't matter. I can still do it.
On your
Trust me on
body.
this one.
Just
Like I'm
why?
really good at this game.
Why is that one touching your body?
You don't
Because he
even
has a
see me
because
doing it.
because he's actually a female. He's been cursed to wear the skin of a male.
Odd
I'm
looking
drawing
female.
a dick on his face.
Dude, he doesn't even
Are we
see us
all
doing
awake
any of
messing with
this.
Adis?
Well, Adis's body is sleeping. I don't care what you guys are doing.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's
I'm
even better then.
discombobulated. You guys don't even know.
Oh,
what's
wait.
going on.
Why is that when engaging in man-on-man love with your body?
Ooh.
Because he's a very twisted individual, but unfortunately, we need his strength for the battle to come.
Are you a twisted individual?
You know, I spent 200 years in hell, so it's quite possible.
I see. Well, dragons are not welcome in the land of the fairies.
So, if they're not welcome, would you consider helping us ensure that they never go there? Because if we lose our battle to come, they most certainly will. Super thrust.
Little did you know, this is what Damon says to your body in the middle of the night.
She
I
says to you.
actually do know because she's telling me, and I can see what you all are doing.
No, you can't. I rolled a
You can't feel anything.
Jack is, or
I
You
rolled
can't
a
feel
Albrecht
anything.
natural
is
one.
fast asleep.
Mhm.
Yeah, but I'm still aware of my surroundings.
Yeah, you are.
Albrecht is fast asleep.
Wait, what'd you say? Ellen.
Oh, we're moving over to.
Let's forget this guy. We're going down.
But anyways, miss, I spent 200 years in hell. Playing games is not really my thing, so if you desire a gift, please tell me what you would like. As penance for the rudeness of our magic.
She says, "Your eyes.
You want my eyes?
I would like them."
Sure.
Okay, Rocket.
That seems like fair compensation for having offended.
So glad you agree. If I could just get around that friend of yours, I will extract them from your body.
You can take his too if you want.
Ah,
It was his idea.
the eyes
No,
of
it
your
wasn't.
friend
It was-
as well.
You
This is
guys
a
have no idea. You can see everything.
significant gift.
Tell her she wants, we can split between us. She can take, both of me and Owen's one-eyed snakes.
Oh, yes, that one right there, the big oof who is violating my body. It was his idea to scry on you. Please, feel free to take his eyes as well.
Him.
Wait, so what happened?
Poor Deimos.
Wait, that wasn't my idea for nothing. Actually, I can't tell you I'm drawing a dick on Albert's face. I'm out of this.
It's too late now. You done fucked up.
Fucked up what?
It's
She
just what
says-
you get for.
She says, "One eye now, and if we have promise of no dragons coming to our land," she says, "that would be gift enough. I will spare other eye."
You are too kind.
Yes, you promise, yes?
I promise. We will do
No
everything within our,
dragons.
we will do everything within our power to contain them.
If dragons arrive in fairy land,
Then I'll
I
already
will
be
not
dead,
be
and you
happy.
can take whatever you wish from me.
good. You see her turn her head as if addressing creatures at her side that you can't see. Since you just see her face. She says, "This one I like. This one knows how to bargain with our kind." She says,
This is gonna hurt.
"Farewell, mortal. Please hold your bargain, lest you incur wrath of fairies."
Yes, my lady.
With a flash, her eyes, just a brief glimpse of red, and then the vision is gone. You awaken with a start. Um, you feel Elwyn's hand just resting across your lap for some odd reason. His sleeping body next to you. For some reason, he rolled across the cave, and now his hand is resting across your lap, but he's sleeping as well. And you look down, and there is blood pouring out of your right eye socket.
I was trying to finger you.
Immediately. Wait. Who's doing what again?
Elwyn.
Elwyn just gets backhanded by a Big B's hand.
He has no
I'm
depth
knuckle
perception.
deep
He
I'm
totally
knuckles deep in your
misses.
vagina.
And he grabs you by the throat and slams you into the wall.
I counterspell.
You're asleep. You didn't see me counter or cast it.
So Adis, right now your empty eye socket is pouring out blood.
Okay. I firebolt it.
No.
Let
All right,
me.
He can't range anymore. The depth
No.
perception is so off.
Nah, this is a penance paid.
All right, so you focus the
I feel
flames
kind
and
of bad now, Adis.
pinpoint accuracy. You scorch the remaining nerves and blood vessels within your eye socket. It's successful in cauterizing the wound. It
And
is
of course,
not
I took the
pretty at
mask
all.
off first.
Yeah, it's not pretty at all. Your face is a terror to behold. It's not just an empty eye socket, but it's like a burned flesh all around it. And it hurts like crazy.
Oh yeah, I imagine.
I feel bad now, Adis.
You don't know why it happened, so you can't feel bad yet.
As a player.
Do I need to make a con check to not pass out?
Yeah, go ahead. The pain is excruciating. You manage to stifle a scream, biting on your own lip and clenching your teeth. But as the pain as it fades away, the dull, deep throbbing where your eye used to be keeps you up for the rest of the night. You're not really able to drift back off to sleep.
Okay.
Okay.
Is that one awake now?
The hours.
No, is Albrick awake? Sorry.
Yeah,
Are you
I would
waking
have
him up?
woken up.
Yeah.
I would have woken up to the screaming.
Okay.
There's like blood all over me, and I just look over at Albrick before I lay back down. Next time, you're scrying the Fairy Queen.
No, I do feel bad as a character and as a player. Do I need to make a horror check?
It probably looks pretty ghastly.
It looks pretty foul, pretty bad, and you do have
No.
the smell of recently burned flesh is in the air.
Shit, do I have something for you?
You can't.
No, I might actually.
It's a
have
it's a
something
magic
super
thing.
cool.
It was an offense caused by magic.
No,
I have to deal with
trust me on this one.
No, I think he's talking about the burning, not the actual eye itself.
No, I'm talking about this sexy eyewear, bitch.
Oh, you got a you got an eye patch.
Oh, you gonna look
it.
fucking.
I can't view it. Midas has to link it.
Oh,
Here. It's an actual thing he's got in his inventory.
Oh wow.
I don't remember when you got that, but I do remember
that was
you
like
have it.
way back in the day.
It's a long time ago.
While I appreciate it, I think it would go to waste. I wear a mask, so.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
We're pretending to be pirates, and
Yeah,
the
we
captain
were.
too.
We were terrible.
The captain had her own little
Uh-oh.
eye patch.
Deimos.
Hmm.
So, while I was speaking to the queen,
Yeah, what's up?
I saw you and Elwyn's shenanigans.
Yeah, I drew a dick in
So,
your face.
yeah, you
It's right
did.
there.
I know.
Like I point, I
know,
pull my mirror out,
and-
and I show it
And
to him.
you see this eye I lost?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, the queen's gonna be coming for one of yours and Elwyn's too.
Oh, I don't
Next
think
time,
so.
don't fuck with me while I'm sleeping.
I think you made a deal with for the whoever's idea it was. It wasn't my idea.
No,
So
you
whoever's
didn't hear
idea
any of
was-
it, buddy, because you
I
were
know,
not
but
there.
technically, I'm a fairy god, and I totally
you're
know.
not.
So I don't lose my eyes.
Just remember that, Deimos.
Oh damn it! I won't
Your
be
eye
able to
is
heal you
being held
anymore then.
hostage right now.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, don't take any damage.
So how are you guys planning to open the door?
Adis
Well,
had a couple ideas.
I spent the night examining it so I could try to dispel it, and if that didn't work, I was gonna break the fucking thing down.
Okay. You see no way to
Ow.
dispel it.
So a spell, I figure it won't work.
Absolutely not.
Alright,
Not on this thing.
how much room do we have down here?
It's pretty tight quarters. So if you're looking at a...
I need 15 by 15.
So it's like, this is the doorway. It's probably about 25 feet wide. Right? The cave walls come right to this, and it kind of narrows off into a cave that ascends, the tunnel ascends upwards rapidly. You guys, you encamped in this area right here outside the door.
There just might barely be enough room. Let's see what size this was, I forget. Oh wait, no, it's 20 by 20.
Yeah. This is a dwarven temple made from this white stone. You guys encountered it before. It's the same stuff that the barrier in Mistrala was constructed out of. It's heavily warded. It's made to contain, a super powerful ancient evil. So it's gonna take a lot to break it, or some way to bypass it, or some way to open it. You're not gonna be able to brute force it down.
Call Euphemia up and see if we can borrow Kildrak's mace. Or Maul, excuse me, not mace. You're out of ideas, I assume.
Yeah, there's not enough room in here for me to, in this section, to transform into big motor scooter and beat the damn door down. I need a 20 by 20. And there's
Call up Euphemia.
Yeah, there's barely 15 by 15.
What do you want, Albrick?
Can we borrow Kildrak's Maul? We're about to get revenge for Balinor.
She pauses for a second. She says, "Where are you? And you plan to come get it?"
If you tell us where you are, we can come and get it. We're in the temple that, the dwarven temple with the giant demon worm was.
The mall and the old temple. You're planning to open the door, aren't you?
Yes. Again, revenge
Don't
for
you
Balinor.
remember what's inside?
Yeah, we were like a level 11 back when that thing came out. I think we can take it now.
And let me guess.
And I mumble to myself so she can't hear. Plus, you're not here, so I think we got more firepower into it.
Let me guess. This was Deimos' idea, right?
Deimos / Adis / mine / Elwin's.
Of course. Tell you what. I will hand deliver this hammer to you.
Well, I act kind of surprised at her generosity, and I say, well, thank you very much.
She wants to come watch Deimos die.
That is probably true. You're not wrong there, sir.
She says, "It would be my pleasure. Just hold on one second."
As soon as Ada says that to me, I'm like,
A few seconds pass by, and Euphemia just zips into view, walking out of the shadows. In her hands, she's holding Kildrak's Maul of Tremors. She says, "Now Kildrak really likes this thing, so he wants it back."
Oh, I have no intention of using it. I just want to open the door.
So I mean, open the door, then leave it outside before you walk in.
As soon as the door is open, it's going back into your hands.
Mm-hmm.
If you would prefer, you could open it for us and leave, and we'll walk in. And you can take it back with you right away. I say with complete and utter respect.
She looks at you, says, "This new guy's not too bad." She walks over to the doorway, and she finds the place where a door is. She says, "Deimos," she says, "I do this for you with all the love in my heart."
Oh, you are.
And she
you
slams
know,
the.
I always liked you. I thought you were always funny, except when you stabbed me in the face.
By the way, as she's walking up there, I'm already raging, and I've gone giant just so I don't have to waste my bonus actions doing that.
And I cast. No, I need to wait. How long does that stuff last?
What stuff?
The stuff you just cast, Albert.
Oh, raging until I say it doesn't, or I
Are
fall
we sure?
unconscious.
Are we sure this thing's gonna be right on the other side of the door?
Even if it isn't, the only risk I incur is some sort of madness that I actually haven't experienced yet.
No. I was just wondering if you wanted invulnerability.
Oh, not for this.
Okay.
Not if it. Only if it looks like it's going super badly.
And that's a self-target spell only.
Oh, is it? Oh, it is. I have a question then, Midas. Does invulnerability transfer into a form?
Transfer what?
Like, if I cast invulnerability on myself and then shape change, would it carry? Because I don't know how effects work with shape changing, right off the top of my head.
I think he's talking about if he goes into practinic form.
The druid one is, I know whatever the druid special one, it like has the rule for it, like stuff goes over. But I think for like the wizard and sorcerer one, it's like you just change into a thing.
Like, yeah, it's not shape changing. You're true polymorphing yourself. True
Yeah.
polymorph is. No, it's not a concentrate. It is a concentration spell. Those are two concentration spells.
Vulnerability isn't, is it?
It is.
Oh.
No.
Oh, it is. Never mind. Never mind on that then. I thought it was just a cast and forget it for 10 minutes. My bad on that. Sorry. So never mind. Yeah, it wouldn't work anyway. No, the reason I was wondering is because the spell itself doesn't specifically say anything about effects that are on you. So.
I mean, before we walk in, I'm also gonna cast a little shield on me. Well, me and also I guess Ellen, because he's the squishiest.
Okay. All right. Anything else you guys are doing?
Nope.
Yeah, I'll cast Ilir Cool's Mantle on myself.
Oh, what is that?
Oh, it's this thing again. You cast this once before, I believe.
Luminous aura. You are resistant to being frightened or charmed, and resistant to lightning damage. Advantage against all saving throws.
Ooh,
Huh?
nice,
Set
nice,
this
nice
to-
voice.
Self.
Okay.
Oh,
Where
also,
is
just for
that?
theatrical purposes, it would be okay if I cast a symbol on one of the 3 scales from Valinor I took from way back in the day.
A symbol. Yes.
I'm just gonna attach it to my hand. Apparently, if I cast symbol, I'll just cast on that, like my 1,000 gold piece punch. I'll just do it that way, make it a little easier.
Okay. Alright. So, Euphemia stands there and says to you all, everybody ready?
Yeah.
Give her a nod.
Alright. She takes the hammer and she slams it into the doorway, and there's a slight detent in the shape of the hammer that it fits into. And as it does, you see the shimmering, blinding white light of the aura surrounding the door just flare up and then just dim away. And the door itself splits and retracts into the wall, to the left and to the right, and opens up. And from inside, a deep, sucking darkness begins to pour out and flow through the room. And as that happens, Euphemia instantly shifts into the ethereal realm.
I want her to roll a
Something new
d20.
here. Okay. Let's do this, bitch. I draw out Sword of Cost, by the way. That was another thing I did.
Standing in the doorway, darkened the room becomes black, blacker than darkness. Black to the point where even those of you with dark vision are having a hard time seeing ahead of you. You guys haven't moved, but it seems like the room is swirling around you as it feels like you're being sucked forward into this darkness. And in front of you, you see one face, one individual, a set of red eyes looking out at you.
Figured. What's up, bro?
He says, "Why have you come back and opened the doorway?"
Well,
We wanted to get revenge for you because we thought you were dead.
Well,
Revenge for me?
Kill it. Yeah, I mean, if you didn't kill it, it's a 50-50 chance.
He says, "I remember you. I remember you." He points at you, Deimos. And, or the eyes focus on you, Deimos, and then the eyes shift and focus on Elwyn. And it's so dark, all you can really see is parts of his face that are slightly illuminated by his red eyes.
Say, I miss you, buddy.
Bro, come back to us.
The head shifts slightly, moving horizontally to the left. And he's looking at you, Deimos. He says, "Yes, I'm grateful for your friendship. It is what will have released me from this entombment and unleash my ravenous hunger upon your world."
Balnar, fight that bitch inside
Yeah.
of you.
Instant
One of the
disintegrate
faces.
to the face.
So what you're gonna do? Yeah, you have to fight that bitch because you a stronger bitch, and that thing was just a worm. You're like a kind of human dragon thing, which is technically way above a worm in the food chain.
Okay? And now you see the head lift straight up into the air, 15, 20, 30 feet up in the air, disembodied, floating around up in the sky. Just the head illuminated by the eyes. And then sets of eyes all around him begin to open up as well. Different yellow ones, red ones, green ones, all in hideous shapes, defining various faces and in various stages of decay. Different races, all kinds. Some of them, their faces locked in frozen gazes of horror. Other ones in agony. Other ones in menacing stares with like parts of their face rotting, their skin rotting off their flesh and their bones. And you guys can see in the combined light of dozens and dozens of these eyes, the outline of the maw of this incredibly massive worm
How far away?
standing in the doorway.
Asmodeus found out about this.
Oh my god. I suddenly have no confidence anymore.
How far away is he?
It's hard to determine. You guys really don't have, especially you. You have no depth perception. But in the darkness, with the size of the eyes and the height over you, it's like throwing stones into the dark. It could be, 10 feet away. It could be 100 feet away.
Alright, I rush him, and after I take 5 steps, I true polymorph into Billy Badass.
Okay.
If Adis is going for it, I'm going for it.
I mean,
All right.
if this guy really wants to go against, the Red God, I guess whatever.
Okay. All right.
Oh
So-
my god.
So you guys are are attacking Korgoth, the demon lord of worms, who's been entrapped underneath the ground for thousands of years.
Yeah. He ain't
Who
got
ate
no
the
lips.
who ate the soul of Baladar.
Fuck his face.
I mean,
Oh my
And
goodness.
as
Might
I'm
have-
rushing,
you knew if this party was going to go out anyway, it wasn't going to be going out against the demon. Wasn't going
Oh
to be
my
going out
God.
even on a side quest you gave us. It was going to go out doing a side quest that we came up on our own.
Yeah, sweet.
and as I'm
sweet
rushing
revenge.
forward, as I go to do the transformation, I yell up to him, "What do you think of Asmodeus?"
Okay. You hear resonating through your head. You will know all my thoughts when I have consumed you.
Oh, that's a shame. We just
You know, it's really rude not to answer a question somebody asks you as I transform.
Okay. All right. So you start shifting into the essence of Practinic. Albric, you're raged and enlarged. The rest of you guys are charging in. So I have to
is going to be
build
the
out
help whatsoever.
Euphemia's in the ethereal realm. She's probably already teleported away, or she's on the other side of the room just watching.
I just want to ask him like one last thing.
No, she's got to be watching because you know she wants to see Deimos die.
What?
So I have
least favorite character.
So I have bad news and bad news for you guys. The bad news, the first bad news, is I haven't put together this character sheet yet, but it is going to be pretty fierce. I can guarantee that. The other bad news is that we're not playing it next week because of the Warcraft expansion drop. So you'll have to wait 2 weeks to see what he looks like.
No worries.
Okay.
No, I was just.
I can deal with the second bad news.
I was just itching to bring out Prac.
I know you were. I'm
Dude, this
judging
fool is,
based
this
on what
fool
we
is-
faced before. What do I guess he's similar to that we faced before? Those
You haven't-
things that we fought on the train, or you?
Oh,
No.
I'm assuming he's way
You haven't.
badder version of those. Way better.
All right, you're thinking like
But he's
equivalent power level.
Yeah,
equivalent
he's not
power
quite
level to-
Ecamel.
A
Right.
demon lord would be the beings that you've encountered of equivalent power level would be
Or know of.
Mistress Ambrosia.
Yeah, because all those people in the ceremony were technically demon lords, right? Or devil. They were devil lords, but
Yeah, some of the barons, maybe the more powerful baron, maybe the what's her name, the Torn Morrow.
okay. Is it kind of close to that one lady we met at the Soul Bend?
Maladamini, yeah, something like that.
The Duke Maladamini.
Yeah.
Okay, good, but not Incamel level power, correct?
Let's hope not.
Yeah, Incamel was a power of a different scale. Especially since he was growing in power. His hybrid form was very minimized. And
Yeah.
granted, this is a demon lord that's been trapped under here for thousands of years, so he's weakened. He hasn't been feeding on souls much. So you do have that going for you, but
First
it'll
good.
be
First,
this is gonna be pretty
Oh,
rough.
I do want to argue this. If it does kill us all, I think we should all be able to play him as our NPC character. Like our whole party just plays him.
Just different heads on his
Just different
mouth.
heads. Yeah, and we just try to take over everything.
We could do that. You're gonna have to fight Balinar though. Balinar's head is there, and I mean he's. Oh, that's a good idea. I'll get Balinar's character sheet, and he'll be making attacks too,
No.
as the individual head making attacks against you.
Come on.
Yeah, hey, if push comes to shove, we just leave. The seal's broken.
yeah, that's what I hope he says, because if he sees we're getting beat and then she sees us teleport out of here, she can just shut the door.
If she didn't shut it behind us, we
That
can't tell.
too. That too.
If
That's
she
a
shut it behind
possibility.
us, we ain't going anywhere.
I
Man,
don't
you guys
think
dug
she's
the-
that cruel.
You guys dug deep into the history today. Okay, all right. So 2 weeks from today, nothing next week. But 2 weeks from today, we're starting off with you guys in this encounter. Okay,
Yeah, I'm excited.
and I'm gonna have to create this character sheet. This will be fun.
Also, as dumb as it sounds, I don't want to do it. But I already have the pre-download for World of Warcraft. I know you're gonna be doing stuff with your guild and stuff like that. What fucking server are you on? Like, I know.
I'm on Hyjal.
Started up again.
I'm on Hyjal.
Oh, Hyjal. Okay.
Yeah.
Such a
No, if you play, I'll totally play with you.
So what's the level cap
I
up to
have
now?
so much good stuff. Well, from back. in the day.
120.
120.
I was like, I
Yeah.
got so many of those. What are they called? Those drakes you get from being like top 1% and what's it called, the PvP shit.
Yeah. That's cool.
I got a tiger and some rap. I got some random shit.
Cool. All
I
right.
haven't logged
Well,
into
guys.
my World of Warcraft account in so many years.
I know, same. Thank
Panda
you.
expansion was the last
Yeah,
time I
thank
played.
you so much for running this.
Yeah, thanks,
Yeah.
Midas, for not making me able to sleep tonight.
Yeah, you're kind
Thanks,
of mean,
guys.
actually, to be completely honest. Yeah.
Have a good night's sleep and a good couple of weeks. I'll see you 2 Mondays from now.
All right,
Yep,
cool.
I
Yeah,
look
dude.
forward to
Thanks.
seeing
Later.
Deimos
Alright,
and
see you, dude.
Elwyn lose an eye.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, we won't lose it. Trust me,
That was
we got
your
this.
eye was part of the bargain, yo.
I mean, you can't. The way you
She
worded
might come
was
get it
actually
someday.
very
She might come
wrong.
get it.
That'd be
All right.
unfortunate if Tempest had to come down and kill her.